How we doing, everyone? I am Lonzo Gonzo. Welcome to the channel for a special night. We are raising money for Starlight Children's Foundation. They are a organization which they provide resources for sickly kids in the hospital as well as their families all across different hospital systems throughout the world. So we're very grateful of taking part of their 12 days of streaming. We are doing a Vampire the Masquerade game. You saw a content warning earlier, so please keep those in mind. If that's something that doesn't go well with you, doesn't mix well with you, please feel free to check out. There is a tweet out that I did not put in chat because I'm doing 800 other things, but go retweet on my Twitter channel, Twitter page, and we'll get right into it. Thanks, everyone, and I'll pass it off to D'Angelo, who's our
Yeah.
storyteller.
Hey, everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well. My name is D'Angelo Murillo, and I am the storyteller for this evening for this Vampire the Masquerade one shot. We're super excited to come together and be able to help raise money for a great cause. If you'd like to influence a game in any way, shape, or form, you can do so by it should be like a command, right, to pull up the stuff. Yeah, so there should be a command, or if you go to Tiltify, you'll see all the ways you can donate and affect the game whichever way you like. Just want to point out there is a $75 one for TPK mode if you're interested. I don't know how you guys feel, and yeah. So what we're gonna do is, before we get into the game, we're going to go ahead and go around the room and have everyone introduce themselves. Now, although this is in my stream channel, I'm still going to implement my rule for any stream games. And that
Boo,
rule is
D'Angelo,
that
boo.
and that rule is that when you speak about yourself, you have to do it with pride and your full chest. There's no ooh, like I'm no one, I don't really do anything. You really have to come up and be like, I'm amazing, I'm wonderful, and all that kind of stuff. If you do so, you will get one free reroll for a night of a single D10. And then however, if you choose to be meek and humble and all that kind of stuff, I get to choose two of your dice to have you reroll. So if there are successes, reroll them to see if you can get lesser and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I guess you guys just have to love yourself and be proud of yourself and your accomplishments. So we're gonna go ahead and first off, go back over to Lonzo so he can tell us how amazing he is.
Starting off with me. How we doing, everyone? I am Lonzo Gonzo. You can find me here in my channel, Lonzo Gonzo. And tonight I will be playing Miguel Martin, a thin blood kindred who is here to help out and figure things out in Phoenix, along with my amazing group of kindred friends. Did I do good?
You did great, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Going over to my fellow Arizonan, Robo.
That's me. I thought you were going to somebody else. Who else is from Arizona?
Yeah. Who's Robo?
Yeah, who is the...
Oh, sorry. TT RPG Gifts. That's what I got to say. Yeah.
It's me, Robo Goblin. And you can find me at TTRP Gifts on Twitter and on Twitch and on Hive. Tonight, I'll be playing Valentin Rosales, and he's a Tremere? Mm-hmm. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm new at this game. Thank you so much. And that's me.
Perfect. And then Chula.
Hi. I'm Bewitched Chula on all socials, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Hive too now. That's new. And this is my first time playing Vampire the Masquerade also. So I am playing Jimena Ortiz, a Pisano Hecata, I think. Yep. Hecata. And yeah, she's a mortician, very into necromancy. Yeah, so we're gonna figure this out with all our other teammates. I think I did
perfect. You did great. Yeah. You're all doing amazing. And then Roller.
Yeah, hey everybody. I'm Randy Alvarenga. I'm gonna be playing Manny Ortega. Today he is a Malkavian artist. So I'm excited about that. This is also my first game here, but you can follow me on Twitter at Roller Raja and see some of the cool stuff, which are like I'm a voice actor. I'm also a film and TV actor, but also do a lot of TTRPGs and streaming. So come check me out.
Awesome. Perfect. So I'm really excited to be your first like storyteller for your, Vampire the Masquerade experience. I always get nervous when I play with new players because it's either like you're gonna have a great time or you're gonna be like, I hate Vampire the Masquerade. Something about it was terrible, and it like might be me. So like hopefully you guys have a great time despite all the danger ahead of you. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. It is November 26th, 2022, just like, essentially a week ago. And it is a very like chill winter night. And in this Phoenix territory is like a buzz this evening with the Elysium that's going on in downtown Phoenix at a venue called the Van Buren, which is a huge music venue. And there are kindred literally lined up outside the door of importance and influence, looking to see what's going on at this event, where Anarchs and Camarilla are coming together for the first time to be able to, just party and have fun and celebrate their non-aggression pact and all that. And they're said to be like the finest blood wine. Bad Bunny is playing at this Elysium, and like all these different things are going on. However, you guys are actually down the street and not going to this Elysium this evening because your primary duty is to be a hound of Prince Vargas, which is the leader of this Camarilla territory. And she has assigned you guys a very sort of particular mission. Actually, we'll go ahead and just role play this really quick. So we're going to say that you guys are currently in downtown Phoenix, maybe just like looking over at the Elysium building or the venue where the oh shit, that's like, so and so, and like, you're super excited to be there. And sure enough, you hear a ding behind you of the elevator like opening, and you hear the sound of clicking of heels that are approaching. And you turn around to see this woman named Diana, which is the personal assistant of the prince. And she goes like, "Oh, thank you guys so much for waiting. The prince will see you now. Please, follow me." And really quick, let's go ahead and go again around the room to describe the physical description of your character. So what does everyone see in their first like look over and all that? And we're gonna go opposite order. So we're gonna go to Manny first.
Yeah. So the very first thing you do is see a sort of tall, slightly thin looking guy. He's kind of got dark, baggy eyes as if he's been awake for a long time. And he's sitting there taking notes. His clothes actually look better than he looks. He's got like a scruffy beard, unkept hair, but his clothes themselves are actually really nice, as if someone helped him buy them. But he's like hunched over and just like waiting. He's like, oh, as the PA is like, that the prince is ready. And he's like, I was right in the middle of this. And then yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Go for it.
She has very, very like well done hair, very like tied up. She has usually morning flower, like right there, like an orchid sometimes, because that has like some meaning to her. Personal, she doesn't want to talk about it. But she's very pale, like her eyes are very like kind of silverish with like a red hue in the very center. She stands at 5'1", and her body is just very like standard, like and she just has like a little beauty mark right here as well. And just her demeanor is like, her outfit is very from the 1940s, 1950s, very like pinup kind of jumpsuit.
That's amazing. Awesome. And then want to give a quick shout out to some of our donators this evening. We got like a $20 donation, $5 donation, $25 donation, and then G4 with $250 donation. So we're currently at $300 raised. So thank you guys so much for that. And the 250, some of that was a TPK, right? That was like some of that. Like you tell me, because that way I can make sure to keep that in consideration.
Are we going to create new characters then? Like on
right?
stream,
like,
and then we're going to do another one?
Yeah, we'll have you finish your description, and then everyone will create new characters. And then we're gonna,
The sun immediately comes up.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. All right. Our producer just informed us that $75 was TPK, per their opinion or evidence, whichever. Wow. I'm not going to question it. So, it's in the chat. Perfect. Yes, there you go. So, going over to Valentin.
So you see Valentin is around 6'4". He's a bearded guy. He's short, black hair, red eyes. He has a scarf around his neck. He's really tall and muscular. He's basically the brawny man guy, pretty much. So he's wearing plaid and black pants and like big boots, like big giant boots. And he's just trying to glance at what Manny is drawing because he's always fascinated about what he draws. So he's trying to take a peek around to see what he's looking at.
That's a great excuse for our first roll of the evening. So why don't you go ahead and look at your so the basic general perception check is going to be your wits plus awareness. So you're going to look at how many black dots you have in your wits, and then how many black dots you have in your awareness. Combine those together, and then roll that many d10, and then see how many successes you have, which is a 6 or above.
Okay, so that's 6, and I roll the what's it called? The vampire die, right? The
hunger die. Yep, and it'll be a part of your dice pool. Yeah.
Oh, that will be a part. Okay. Okay, so that's that's pretty good. 1, 2, and so I got 2 successes and 2 zeros, which is 2 10s.
Those are 2 10s, yeah. So that means that's 4 successes then. So that'll be 6 successes that you have in this situation. So you are like doing a great job as maybe you like lean over his shoulder or look or like, and Manny, are you like legitimately trying to like hide this stuff, or are you kind of just
right now openly? I think he's just drawing. So what I like to imagine, he loves to just draw all the time when he can.
Yeah.
And he sees different things. So what you see that he's drawing is this exact hallway, but everything is slightly off. Like the windows aren't where they need to be. Like the doors are maybe on the ceiling. Like it is a little weird. And you're just trying to, like, your mind is trying to like put it together as you're looking at it.
Okay, got it. So he's just trying to tell what it looks like, and it's kind of weird. And I imagine that you turn because you feel like I'm staring at you. And as you turn, I turn away to another place.
The other detail I'll add to that is that as you look over to this drawing, you do see the hallway and you do see like everything misplaced, but you also see yourself looking over the shoulder, looking at the notepad, and then that is a smaller notepad, it's smaller. Yeah.
That's even better. And I'm like, okay.
It's like, yeah, it's like a perfect. So, perfect. And then going over to Miguel.
You see Miguel in about shoulder length hair, part out the side, a la this. Has a black bandana on his head, skinny jeans, Van high tops on, and like a let's go with like a purple hoodie and like a green t-shirt underneath, and he has a little skateboard with him, and he's just going around doing like little kick flips, heel flips, waiting for the elevator come and for the person to come out and get out of the elevator so we could go in. He's just like, has his chain attached to his jeans to go into his wallet in the back, and he's just like looks over um at Manny and be like, Amano, what you got there, man?
It's the same thing I've had every single time we've met. It's my notebook. There's,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
What do you have there? Oh wait, your skateboard, right? And then he goes back to his drawing.
I mean, I'm looking forward to what that's gonna come out like this time, because you keep getting better and better. And I like that for you.
Well, thanks. That's really kind. I like that too. Well,
Yeah.
now I feel like an asshole. I'm sorry.
So Manny, one thing that to keep in mind, do you have premonition in
Yes, I
your
do.
Okay, cool. So there's a couple ways that I handle premonition. Number one, you absolutely can manually activate that at a time of your choosing. It will cause a rouse check though for you to like look in there. Not only that, but for a few moments in the scene, you will be unavailable to your coterie. Coterie is like your vampire party, essentially. As these visions like flash through your sort of mind. The other thing is that in each scene, for the most part, I will offer you one free premonition, usually at an unfortunate timing, moment, so that like when the people need, you to step up and do something, you'll be unavailable if you choose to take my offer. But I will, provide you some information depending on how good you roll. So, yeah, just keep that in mind in your back pocket. So at this time, you all walk into this elevator that is like super pristine. And Diana is there as she like, clicks the button and everything to go to the top floor, the prince's suite, essentially. And you hear the sounds of the electronic like whirring and the, mechanisms, jarring and everything like that as it begins to lift you up. And there's a few moments where you have with just, Diana here. Is there anything you'd like to ask or do in this moment? Or simply just let it pass?
Let it pass.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see.
Sure. So you all are in like, awkward sort of silence as you're all hounds of the prince. You're all capable and competent in your own way to be able to aid the prince in this endeavor. And your night was interrupted by this sort of meeting that you had at the drop of a dime. And like you were getting ready to pick out, your outfit to go to the Elysium, but now you were, sidetracked and everything. So
Could have seen Bad Bunny.
exactly. Yep. And then the elevator dings, the doors part, and you see various, security guards that are sort of there in protection of the prince. And the prince is like surrounded by toreadors, helping to do her makeup and like, putting on jewelry and getting ready essentially for the Elysium. And she has like a Met Gala sort of outfit that she's looking to. I guess I said power suit in the other stream, so we'll go with power suit. But she's choosing which kind of power suit, how big are the shoulder pads, and like all that sort of stuff. So as you enter, she goes, "Oh, you guys are here. That's good." As she kind of waves away her like assistants and goes, "I am so sorry to take you away from this evening. I know you probably wanted to go to the Elysium, and hopefully this won't be any sort of big issue or trouble for you." As she like goes ahead and like has one of her servants offer you guys blood wine if you'd like some. Now, drinking this like blood wine won't reduce your hunger to completely zero. You only can do that by feeding on someone to death, essentially. But she still offers it to you as a gesture of kindness. Do you guys accept this, or do anyone refuse?
I'll take it.
I'll accept.
I took the blood wine.
Perfect. Okay, so you all take it and you all drink. So in this time, she goes like, I'm so sorry to inconvenience you in this time, but I really need the aid of my hounds. I won't waste much more of your time. That way, hopefully you can go ahead and check it out and then come back and then be able to go to the Elysium, no problem at all. But we are friends over in the local like Chantry, our warlock blood sorcerer friends. As she looks specifically to Valentine, because you are a Tremere and you know of this Chantry and you know of the this place and everything. She goes, I haven't heard from my Tremere Primogen and Cynthia in some time now, and I understand that blood sorcerers can lose themselves for days and days in rituals and like all this sort of stuff, so that's completely understandable. But there is some information that I need from her at this time, and I really would like her presence at the Elysium. So if you guys could go ahead and investigate, what's going on there, and then find a way to get her to come to the Elysium essentially, and make sure, like, if she is, deep within a ritual, find someone and talk to them to be able to try to talk her out of it or get her out of that thing. Like, I understand that a majority of you, might not have the skill sets to deal with sort of blood sorcery, and I don't expect you to, but just find someone who can help out, and then go ahead and get her to come to the Elysium and tell her this is from the prince directly, that she is to report to the Elysium. And that's literally it. And once you do that, please, escort her to the Elysium. I will be there because I'm leaving there shortly. And then, you will have fulfilled this request of mine. And she was like, any questions? As she is like putting on earrings, or I guess her assistants are now putting on earrings and jewelry.
When was the last time that you actually saw your contact?
Yeah, she goes, oh man, the nights are starting to merge together, but I believe it was 5 days. That she looks to her personal assistant and she goes like, it was about 6. It looks like she was like, on it just November 20th, essentially. And she goes, I have 6 days apparently, as she looks to you.
Got it. And do we expect to, be surrounded by people that could be potential trouble for us?
She listens to you and goes like, I mean, unless the Tremere, which you would have more information on, unless the Tremere are rising up to, do a mutiny and take us on, I can't imagine that. Because like, the Chantry is filled with very powerful blood sorcerers, so they should have enough power to deal with whatever, if there are any issues and everything. But I can't imagine there's any sort of stuff. But you never know with blood magic and everything. So if you feel like you might need it, go ahead and take a weapon with you. You have my authorization to do so. So as she will go ahead and like snap her fingers essentially, and then Diana will like hurry over to her desk, open one of the drawers, pull out a like brooch, and then hand it over to you guys. She goes like, that is the brooch of the prince. If you have this on, that means you are acting on my will specifically. So if anyone questions your weapons or your investigation or anything like that, they know that you are acting on my will. So you shouldn't experience any problems.
Have there been any signs of hunters around the area?
Go ahead and do a, let's see here. There's a couple things you do. Number one, if you want to gauge her emotional like reaction, you can go ahead and do a wits and insight to be like, how is she responding to this? Or you can go ahead and do a like, charisma persuasion to try to like convince her that you need this information and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'll go with persuasion.
Sure. So go ahead and look at your charisma, and then go ahead and look at your persuasion, and then take all the dice or black dots from that, and that's your D10s that you're going to have in your dice pool.
Okay, so I have 5.
Okay, good. So in your digital roller, you can put in like, dice pool 5, hunger 1, and then difficulty we'll say is 3.
Okay. I got 5 success.
Awesome. Perfect. That's great. So in this time, you asked this being like, do you know of any hunters in the area? Like anything that might cause us, alarm or concern or anything like that. And she has a momentary hesitation as she rolls her eyes a little bit and goes, yes, but I don't think they're dealing with this sort of stuff. Like, are there hunters here? Absolutely. And that's probably the next thing I'm going to have you guys do. After the Elysium, of course, because I want you guys to have your just desserts and all that kind of stuff. But hunters are absolutely an issue, but I can't imagine they would break through a Chantry and deal with all the Tremere. That would be news to me. But if you find anything, let me know.
Of course. Can I do like an insight check on her and just make sure that
Sure.
she's being as truthful as she can?
Yeah. So you're going to do your wits and you're going to do your insight. Yeah.
Okay. Wits and insight. So 4 and 4. Oh, nice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Nice. Perfect. Okay, good. And then what was the result on your blood die? hunger
The
die?
blood die was 2.
2. That's fine. So with 5 successes, you like scan her top to bottom and everything like that, and you also look at her assistant, Diana, in the background, and you can see that she seems stressed. Like she's trying to be composed and she's trying to be together, but she's kind of bleeding a little bit, taking it out on her staff, as she's not satisfied with the jewelry, she's not satisfied with the dress. Like she is unhappy in this moment, and it seems like it's not the jewelry that's the problem, but it seems like compound sort of stress from different things.
Okay.
And Diana seems also very stressed out, because she can sense that her the prince is also going through it. So you seem like this conversation is not going to last much longer, because her patience is thinning, essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we're able to handle this ourselves. If you all agree, we shouldn't cause the prince any more time.
And the prince gives like a sigh of relief, even though you guys don't need to breathe. Gives a sigh of relief, and it goes like, "Thank you. Like, I appreciate you, my hounds, and I hope that you will, come back soon. Enjoy the Elysium. I'll make sure to hold off, the entertainment for as much long as I can, but do hurry. But thankfully, the Chantry is just down the street, so it shouldn't be that bad." And she goes, "All right," and that should be, good. Good luck to you guys, as she, waves you off, and then goes back to her assistants to be beautified, essentially, as Diana like walks towards you guys, and then walks you essentially to the elevator. Does anyone want to do anything else while they're in the presence of the prince? Assassination attempt, or like ask questions?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Can I kill the no?
Yeah.
Manny, do you tell us that you sent something on about Diana being stressed or anything like that?
I would after we leave. I wouldn't do
Okay.
it in the presence of the prince.
Got it.
I would try and do just a kick flip as like we on this.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead and do a composure and etiquette, I guess. Roll for this one.
Composure and etiquette, not like composure and dex.
I mean, well, it's up to you. You roll whatever you think is good. If you want to do a kickflip in front of the prince, you absolutely can do that. What will happen afterwards is another story. So,
All right,
Oh my God.
I'll go put just a
Hello.
little hiccup, little techie wacky.
The kickflip was just too powerful.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
It's like
That's
just off
super
screen.
backflip.
Honestly, okay. So we'll just do this really quick. So I'm a little bit more hardcore, but I like it this way, sort of thing.
Ooh,
So normally a bestial
I'm
failure.
gonna use my reroll. I have a
Yeah,
reroll.
if you like to, go ahead. So you can go ahead and use your one reroll. Alternatively, there you can pop a point of willpower to reroll 3 non-hunger dice in your dice pool that you failed.
Yeah, I want to use my willpower for.
So for anyone who
later.
missed it, Miguel got a bestial failure on his thing. So if it remains, he tries to do a cool kickflip, and then the skateboard goes through a window on the top floor and then crashes. So get some successes.
I got a 6, a 9, a 9, a 2, and a 3 on my blood dice.
Okay, good. So with that reroll, you end up getting what? And you had a 10 before, right? A 6, a 9, 9, and then your 10 from before.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that is 4 successes. So that means you will be able to do this kick flips, successfully and all that kind of stuff. And the sound of it happening and all kinds of causes the prince to like look over, and everyone, the security guards, all that kind of stuff, to look over. And you do like a sick kick flip. And sure enough, the prince is like slightly amused by that, as she goes like, "Good luck to you guys," as she gives a nod as she's going ahead to prepare.
I imagine everybody is like,
I
Every
imagine
time.
if I failed, the board would have went and just smacked the prince in the back of the head.
Yep. So Cynthia Marie, whose character is Prince Vargas,
Oh no!
has told me like specifically that if her character is ever threatened, she wants to get on the stream and involved. So like, I have to like,
no.
yeah. So no, you're good. Yeah. So she's like, I want to fight for the right to
You
live.
tell
And
you
I'm
tell
like,
me this now. You couldn't tell me this beforehand. You tell me
Right?
this
So-
now.
So, with that, you guys get into the elevator, and then you hit the down button, or Diana does at least, and you guys begin to descend down to the normal offices essentially, and you're with Diana. So, is there any questions you'd like to ask, or let the moment pass?
I'd ask, how long has the prince been this stressed out?
She looks to you, and there's a moment where she's a little bit stunned by the question because it's so like forward. However, she recognizes and knows from your profile and everything that you are a Malkavian and that you have access to certain like sensory abilities and like all that sort of stuff. So there's no point in even asking how you know this. But she just goes like, it's been quite a bit with the Thin Bloods sort of forming their own faction and the Anarchs coming in and like the increased hunter activity and missing kindred happening all around Arizona. It's getting to be a lot, but like we're doing everything we can. The prince has plans for how to address this, and we're all gonna make it through this, sort of thing. So, but she's under a lot of stress.
You said missing kindred. How bad is the problem?
She goes like, well, I'm not allowed to say, but if you have people that you care deeply about, I would keep them close during these times and make sure you have an extra eye on them, because even strong kindred are going missing and we don't know what the cause is. So it's troubling times out there.
Oh, so it's really that serious.
She goes, yeah, you're probably gonna get assigned to help out with this soon. But not tonight. Tonight's party night. So hopefully we could just forget our worries and dance the night away. As she's like usually very optimistic and bubbly. So she gives you guys like good vibes as she
Good vibes. I appreciate that, Diana. So let's just go to this place then. I turn to everybody and just say that.
Yeah. Well, why don't you lead the way, Valentine? You know the Chantry better than any of us.
You do.
I do? Okay.
Yep. The Chantry is essentially
welcome you more.
Yeah. It's mainly Tremere. Like it's their...
It's like their headquarters where they go ahead and handle all the blood sorcerer stuff. So it left, right, and center. You've been there multiple times. Whether you want to practice your rituals there or even go there to talk with your other blood sorcerers and all that kind of stuff is totally up to you. But that the Chantry is just down the street. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, so I was just gonna say that probably. Well, I'm just gonna say that in roleplay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know much about that place. I know where it is and I know where the people are, but I really don't know much about the people because I honestly, as you all know, I spend my time doing research on my own. So
right.
Yeah, you're always locked away in your place.
I've always whenever I've walked by the Chantry, they've always given me the evil eye. So I've stayed away as I could. So I understand. But I figured Tremere would be more welcome there, but I see that's not the case. I'm sorry.
It's totally fine.
I could lead the way if that's no trouble.
Yeah, they normally chase me because I try to skate there and they don't really.
Even the mortal police are like, hey, you punk, is you're already doing moves on rails and all that kind of stuff.
Out.
I'm like, yeah.
I think I cut out.
No, you did.
Are you good? You're fine.
Okay. I don't know where it left off. I was talking.
Oh, we heard the whole thing. You're good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So at this time, you guys make your way to the Chantry, which is literally a couple blocks down the road from where you guys are. It is at the San Carlos Hotel, which even mortals know that this hotel is haunted. Real place, and all the things I mentioned are in real places in Arizona and all kind of stuff. So in downtown Phoenix, there's a place called the San Carlos. You know that the Tremere love this. And everything here, as you can clearly see everyone sort of drinking and eating that are mortal as they're checking in, checking out, and it's super chill as you enter this area. and everything's cool. Manny, you of the past, present, and future beginning to bubble up and all that kind of stuff. Do you allow it to happen, or do you let it pass?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right there in the lobby of this big hotel with all these people.
Perfect. So your companion, you all notice this as Manny is walking with you, and suddenly their eyes roll in the back of their head and they just stop, in place, in the middle of the spinny wheel thing.
No, not the spinning wheel, so he's just starting going around and round and round.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's happening again.
I take my board and I kind of like tap it on the tile just next to him, like, hey, oh yeah.
He's doing the thing again, Miguel.
Otra vez.
Yeah.
So in this time, Manny, go ahead and give me your wits and aspects.
Okay, wits and aspect.
Auspex, I've never heard about that.
It is my clan discipline.
Oh, I'm sorry, your resolve and aspects.
Resolve and aspect. Okay, resolve is 3, and aspect is 2. And then one of these is my blood die. So another 2 on the blood die, and I'm going to reroll that.
If you'd like to, yeah. So you can always pop a point of willpower. And then what'll happen is that you get to re-roll up to 3 dice in your dice pool. That is non-hunger dice.
I will do that.
Okay.
Because I want to see the future.
And what you're rolling for is the amount of information that you get. So if you get like a couple successes, you still get information. But if you get like 4 successes or more, then you get like a lot more. Yeah.
I got none the last time. So
okay.
2,
so,
and then a 2 on actual hunger die.
Perfect. So with 2 successes, you begin to snap into your body, but it's not where you left it. Essentially, you find yourself with your companions walking through this sort of area, as they're kind of looking at all these kindred that are on the ground, sort of convulsing. And at the very front of the room is the Tremere Primogen Cynthia, composed and in a sort of ritual sort of like stance and everything like that, as she's like muttering something that you can't quite understand, and she's like channeling all of her energy really hardcore into this. But all of the Tremere of this Chantry are on the ground convulsing. You look over to Valentine, and he's not, it seems like. And that's what you see. So you will be on Manny on the skateboard and are pushing him, or are you just like sort of carrying him?
I imagine. Can we do that though?
Yeah, no, you could. There's a skateboard move called I think it's called the coffin, where you could just put him down like this.
There you go.
And it just kind of goes down. Like he'll lay on the board, so we could do that.
Okay.
What do you say to all the people in the lobby?
It's okay, everybody. This is just
He's drunk.
Yeah. I don't think Manny's appreciate that.
Oh no, you're I was gonna say I have Sense the Unseen. Am I able to use that as well?
If you'd like to. So Sense the Unseen is free. So that means that you get to sense things that many other people might not be able. There's a couple things that you notice. Number one, when the elevator opens up, there are these like this red sort of like smoke that kind of like falls from the gaps in the elevator. Now you like switch on and off your Sense the Unseen, and you don't see it with your mortal eyes. And it could be good, bad, neutral. You're unsure. And yeah.
I turn to look to everybody. There's this red fog coming from the elevator that I feel we need to check out. There might be some blood sorcery going on that we are not aware of.
Well, let's just try and be a little careful, and I'll activate Silence of Death. So that way I'm a little quiet, even though you probably hear the click clacks of the wheels from the tile.
Bird. So you become unnaturally silent and you are effectively undetectable by sound alone. So in this time, Valentine, you know that there is a ghoul that is actually here on the first floor that you guys talk to and can get access to the Chantry, because there are many wards put on the Chantry to protect it from unwanted guests or visitors or anything like that. Actually, Valentine, you might be outside of the facility. Is that correct? Because you have Forloric block of
Huh?
you can't enter buildings without being invited in.
Yes, I can't. Oh shoot! Yeah, I do have that.
Okay, never
Damn
mind.
it!
So Manny's on a skateboard being pushed in, and then also there is the Valentine is face
He's just standing there in the door and just like basically doing ooh woo to everybody.
there are a couple of humans that are kind of there that are kind of like chatting with one another about like their plans and being like, oh man, I wonder what that event is. Like it looks really cool. Like, but do you guys want to go to like Chiba Hut or something like that? Or is there just kind of chatting?
Okay, so I'm just gonna point to one of them and is this place safe to enter?
As they look to you, go to do charisma persuasion.
Charisma.
They're like, ew, as they just walk away and like don't let you in at all.
Okay, so do you want me to roll that?
Yes, charisma persuasion.
Okay. So that's 5 successes.
All right. With 5 successes, you are abnormally, I guess not abnormally, but you are super charming. As they look to you and they're like, is it safe to? Yeah, absolutely. Like come on in. It must be cold out there. As they you feel this this natural barrier dissipate.
Just fade.
Yep.
Have you ever seen Vampire Diaries when not Elena, when Catherine goes into the house, and that's how basically he is like Valentine. He's just going inside like that.
I love it. But I'm glad this is a hotel, because that feels like a safer, better place to try to enter, where they would let you in. Like just find a doorman, and
right?
This is open to anyone, right? Like anyone can come here, right?
Yeah.
So
thank you so much, and I just find my group.
Yeah, they're like, of course, as they immediately hand you their number.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, so nice of you to join us.
You know how it is. I can't,
Yeah.
just walk into a place or not. I'm sorry. I just do that thing. I don't know what it is, but I just.
I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, you're asking for consent to enter a place that you normally wouldn't be, so it's
respectful.
It's kind of, yeah, it is really cool.
The rule with your Bane is that if at least one human being takes residence there, considers that their home, that's what blocks you entry. So you've got to get a mortal to let you in. So as long as they live there in their mind, then that's when that activates. So in this time, you guys know that there's a ghoul by the name of Bruce that's like at the front desk, and he's the one that knows the access codes essentially to get to the actual Chantry where all the Tremere are. However, actually, there's no however. It's like you don't have the access to it. Only this ghoul sort of does, or any ghouls. And they can't, because there's so many wards placed up to protection. Yeah. So, do you want to talk to Bruce, or do you just want to go into the elevator and try to get there yourself?
I'll just ask everybody. So how are we going to do this? Do we just ask Bruce about this, or shall we just go in?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, you just asked permission to come in here. It would be kind of hypocritical for us to just enter in and not ask permission. But then again, Bruce could just go ahead and say no to us, and then we would have to do it anyway. So should we just go ahead in?
I guess so. Is Manny back to himself?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, so
it's
we're
gonna
just
be difficult
pushing the.
little commotion that happens. As like, oh my god! And some people are like taking video of like, is this a performance art or something? And Bruce does come over. He's about like 6'2" and everything. And he like makes his way, and he goes like, Manny.
I just want to say, anyone who tries to take a picture of me gets a blurry.
That's
Perfect.
Perfect.
And you all die. Have a great stream, everyone.
Everybody.
Sorry.
Bye.
Yeah. So at this time, thank you guys for coming back with us and everything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and jump straight in. So where the stream cut off, that's where we're gonna go ahead and continue, which was Bruce had this ghoul that operates as a manager, hotel manager, had welcomed them and noticed that there was a little bit of commotion with their Malkavian companion having a bit of a premonition, and went over, asked them what they're here for, said they needed to go to the Chantry. So he was like, all right, no problem. I can absolutely lead you there. So you guys all get into this sort of elevator, and it begins to close and begins to rise up to, as you see Bruce go to the console and panel and enter a series of numbers in a certain pattern that seems to accept it as a code. And you see that on the panel, it has a floor 1 to 16, but it doesn't have a floor 13 on here. However, the floor you're now going to is now floor 13 with this new code entered.
Oh.
So you guys are, rising in this. And it's at this time that, Manny, you come back from your premonition.
And I like springboard up and then instantly grab my notepad and just start drawing. And probably for the next few seconds, like at first he doesn't talk, and then he shows the drawing to all of you guys. It's literally the room he saw with you, Valentine, standing there, not affected by the you said the primogen of the Tremere is standing there chanting something with all these bodies convulsing on the ground.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And so that is the image, and he goes, I have no idea what this is, but I fear we might be walking into some kind of blood ritual of some kind. But
Is
you're
it-
most
fine.
definitely there's definite residue. That's what I had sensed also.
Your sentient scene is spilling more and more, and it's getting thicker and it's getting more noticeable, especially as you get closer and closer to this 13th floor.
There's definitely something going on here.
So my advice would be to everybody to there's my accent, to everybody to just prepare for whatever happens. And I just take out my you said did we ever agree to get the weapons from the prince?
Oh, our
It's all up
items.
to you. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
you
got
have whatever weapons you feel like your character would bring on this mission, you absolutely have access to them. Yeah.
Have a sword.
Perfect. We can say you kept it in a case to make it look, inconspicuous, instead of being like Guts, where you just have a giant like bandage wrapped sword on your back or something.
Okay.
That's cool.
I have a nice engraved dagger.
I have a gun.
I double dipped and took a sword
Yeah.
and a gun.
Oh,
Sure, that's fine.
Bring in both.
So at this time, Bruce is just like, oh, wow, you guys are on an actual mission. I cannot wait until I'm embraced and I can help you guys with that. As he's just like, you guys are going to do amazing. As the elevator dings and the doors part and it opens up. And you do see that there is this scene exactly as he's holding up the image that he drew. You can see the exact same thing unfold before you, as all the Tremere in this Chantry, your peers, Valentine, are all on the floor convulsing as their eyes are rolled in the back of their head, and it seems like they were trying to do a sort of ritual and like in their stance trying to channel their power, and that something had broke their thing. You look around the room and you see that at the very end of the room there is also Cynthia, the primogen of the Tremere, that's there, the only one that looks composed and resolved. The other one that's sort of there is Ernesto, who's her second in command, essentially. And he's like kind of crawling on the floor and just kind of like chanting to himself and being like, I have to hold it together. I cannot break. I have to do this. As you at least have enough to hear that. So what would you guys like to do in this time?
Yeah. So first of all, I turn to Bruce, and if anything happens, you can just call me, and we'll figure it out.
And
Yeah,
he goes
you,
like,
you
"Ooh,
might
this
not
looks
want to stay here.
serious."
Yeah, you might not want to stay here.
And he goes like, yeah, okay, all right, cool. I'll just like head back down as he goes to like click the elevator essentially and wait for it to open up. Yeah.
All right. Have any of you ever tried to crash a Tremere blood ritual in the middle of it before?
Nope. But here's
No, but
for the first time.
he's very close to death. He's like trying to really hold on. This, I just see like the fog of this blood sorcery just all over him.
That's right. You are a Hakata. So you see that some of these people don't look good. They don't look healthy at all. And specifically you look to Ernesto, who seems to be writhing in pain and like suffering. They don't notice you yet. As they're trying to crawl over to Cynthia and everything and trying to like get to them. Yeah.
And I just turned to Jimena. Jimena, so do you think is it Cynthia, the one that's behind all this?
Either her or somebody that we're not uh they're tied to something. They must have given a part of them to be all just laying here. I don't know.
So
I walk quiet
mhm.
to Ernesto, and I'm kind of like hovering over. Um, and it's, am I able to use my premonition for this?
If you'd like to,
Or
yeah.
how does
So
that?
I didn't know you had permission. Oh my gosh. So go ahead and do
Yeah, I have two aspects, but it says I have sense the unseen and premonition.
perfect. So
Okay.
go ahead if you'd like to and do your you know what? Let me see here. I'm gonna have you roll a rouse check. So go ahead and roll a single D10. And then
Okay.
so in the dice roller, you can go ahead and just put like 1 or something like that. And then and let me know if it's a 6 or above, or sorry, an onk or a blank.
Difficulty 3.
Difficulty 1.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, good. So you're fine. So you don't gain any more hunger. So you activate your premonition as your eyes roll in the back of your head and you become unavailable for a
Oh
little
no.
bit. In this time, you do notice that you're looking at all these sort of scenes flashing before you, and it's like moments from this time as Ernesto begins to like tell you guys this sort of like really inconceivable story, and at the very end of it, that's what you kind of come to in you hear the sounds of like churning and like mulching essentially as you look back. And you see that some of the Tremere that are in this room rise up to attack you guys, essentially. And it's a very hard fought battle. Not only that, but Bruce dies in the conflict. And that's what you see at this moment. So going now, you're unavailable for a few like moments. So going to everyone else,
Uh-huh.
you watch your companion roll their eyes in the back of their head, and Ernesto is like beginning to notice your sort of presence as he's like, oh my god, I'm so glad you're here. As he's like, it's like, Valentine, please come here. As he's calling to you.
And I just run to Ernesto.
Okay, perfect. So if anyone else wants to do any sort of checks at this time, you absolutely can do so.
Yeah.
Just like go ahead and roll them and then let me know what your result is in a bit. So for you, Valentine, you like come over to your companion and sort of lean over to them, and he goes like, this is bad. This is like really, really bad. Cynthia needs your help like immediately. You have to go and assist her. Something like slipped in a ritual where we were seeking the minds of like these people who said they had information about missing kindred, and it was a trap. Like something got in there and it affected our whole Chantry, who tried to help out the Primogen with her spell, and now we're all caught in this blood prison essentially, as he kind of gestures everywhere. So what I want you to do right now, Valentine, is go and roll your intelligence and occult to see if you can identify what's sort of going on with your.
Oh, excellent.
Did I happen to hear that as well?
Oh yeah,
Or
you
is
all
that-
heard it. Yeah.
Not
I
me
would
though,
like,
right?
Yeah, you're out. You're out.
Yeah, I wanted to do an investigate roll on like, but I wasn't. Okay. I want to check like the ritual, like the floor, like how they're sort of doing it.
Yeah.
To try to understand like what they were like
Sure.
trying to.
So that'll be an intelligence occult if you're trying to understand what the purpose of this blood ritual is.
Yeah.
But wits and awareness is to gather just general information about everything. Or if there's something else you want to do, you can also do that. Yeah.
All
I
right.
would like to also put Jimena on the skateboard off to the side so that
She is
way.
on the skateboard. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so
then
that's
I'm
how
gonna
you
make
got
my-
me up here.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Look, guys, she's grinding as you like move her body to like move the skateboard and like.
I got
and everything.
three successes.
Okay, good. And then
said-
Valentine,
What's
So-
a cult?
intelligence occult. Yeah.
Intelligence occult. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna be
The
a fun
zeros count as two, right?
Yeah, if you have if you have 2 10s, that's 4 successes. If you have
Okay.
1 10, that's only 1 success.
So then 10 successes.
All right. So, and what was your hunger die?
6.
6. Okay, you're good. So, with 10 successes and 3 successes, we'll go 3 first, and then we'll escalate. So,
yeah,
with-
I'm like, I don't really know blood
Yeah.
magic, you guys.
you're like
I
weird.
got 1 success.
It's like, okay, so with 3 successes, you look around this room and you can definitely tell that it was a group effort. Like a lot of these people were doing the same ritual, trying to pour their energy into helping their primogen, and they're not doing good. And you can tell that there's a degree of success and failure by how present they are. So Ernesto seems to be the only one that has his wits about him and has some control over his body. The rest of them are just sunken into this, like, mental prison, this blood prison, essentially. And they can't get out. They're having, huge difficulties breaking out of this sort of thing. For the 10 successes, this is horribly wrong. If they die in this blood prison, they're gone. They're like completely, like, their body might be there, their vessel, but there's no lights on at all. And this is a very dangerous predicament. And that, like, if the Chantry goes down, that's a huge blow to the Camarilla, because they will no longer have warlocks to help them out with their, defenses and wards and all that kind of stuff. So this definitely seems like a hit of some kind. But in order to do this hit, it had to be a very, very powerful blood sorcerer. And of no one who's stronger than the primogen. So it's like some serious shit and all that kind of stuff. And Miguel, this looks cool. This looks pretty metal. That's what you gather from this.
Yeah, I'm like picturing like this would be like a great stage in like a Skate 4 video game or like a Tony Hawk video game. Like this would be like a pretty cool like skate area. That's all I'm thinking of.
So quick question. When people are in their premonitions state, are they aware of everything that's happening around them, or
nope, they're
no?
completely out? Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Okay. All right. So with that check, do I know where this come from, or how can I stop it, or how can I help?
So you look to Ernesto and you kind of ask him like what do you need me to do? Like, she's right there. Like, how can I break her out of this sort of thing?
Mhm.
And he goes like, she's not actually here like right now. Like her spirit, her soul essentially is like on the roof. You have to get to the roof because she's battling whoever did this to us. I tried to help her out, but it wasn't enough. Like, all I can do is protect these kindred right here, our fellow Tremere, to not losing themselves to the blood craze, because it's like warping the minds of all of us. And it's all I can do is protect them. But you have to hurry because it's slipping. As sort of he says that, number one, Jimena, you come back from your premonition. If there's anything you'd like to say or do or mention. Oh, muted.
Okay. We are entering something very dangerous. We might have to notify the prince or get word out to the prince. mm,
Can we help with?
What did you see?
well, can I proceed to tell them what was seen, or?
Absolutely, yeah. So they explain to you that there are two kindred. She points them out. It's like Larry and Steve, essentially, that are Tremere, that are on the ground, essentially, and they apparently are going to rise up and attack you guys, and also like immediately murder Bruce. And you see Bruce across the room, like, you know, touching the elevator, be like, "That's weird. Usually like summons by now, huh?" As he just kind of like waits and tries to check his phone and be like, "Hey, my phone's not working. What about you guys?" As he kind of like, you know, sort of asking and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. And as these words sort of leave your mouth, that like, we're going to get attacked, those two are going to freak out and try to attack us. You do begin to see them convulse, meaning that you have moments to do something before they unleash their full. Yeah.
Okay.
We
And
need to
did you
get Bruce
tell
to
us
safety.
that they're gonna kill Bruce?
Yes.
Then I would put Bruce on the elevator. Go downstairs.
Okay. If you would like to get to Bruce in time, you're gonna either need to make an athletics and dexterity.
Yep.
If someone uses a skateboard, they will get one more die in their dice pool. If they,
Ooh.
I will do that as well.
yeah, go for it.
All right, dexterity and athletics.
Yeah.
5.
Dexterity.
Three.
2.
4, 5
Ooh,
dice.
this is a small pool.
I got 3 successes.
Okay, good.
Ooh, ooh,
Nice.
I
4 with the
have
double tens.
Okay, good.
4. Oh, I have all successes. I have a 7 on my blood dice. I have a
Blood die?
9, a 10, an 8, and a 6.
Okay. And then for Manny, what did you get on your blood
6.
die?
A 6.
Oh, 6. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Jimena?
Blood die.
Mhm.
It says it's 1 blood die.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, you're good. So yeah, you guys are all fine. As anyone with 3 successes or above are able to reach Bruce in time. As Bruce is like, God, I just want to like look at TikToks. I don't know why this, like, I got to switch away from cricket, as like he's like trying to like use his phone. And he doesn't even notice the fact that, like, as you guys are bolting and running across the room to get to him, as you're running by these 2 bodies, you can see them begin to become malformed, and their flesh begins to give way to something monstrous as it just explodes in muscle and bone and sinew, essentially, as it just like just screams out in a blood-curdling cry and begin to flail. Now, who specifically wants to protect Bruce? Meaning you're gonna have to roll against this monster to get hit.
Oh, I will.
Okay, cool. So what you're gonna do?
So I have a thing about not killing innocents, and I will try to protect them if I can. So that's
that's
like
fine.
my
That's fair.
conviction.
So what you're gonna do is we're gonna enter combat. So
Mhm.
in combat in Vampire the Masquerade, you guys will always get a reaction to whatever's going on to decide how you want to do it. So you can either dodge, you can make another attack against them, you can do like, you know, one of your discipline powers, whatever you feel you want to do in that. So in this case, this hulking being of like flesh and bone is racing towards you and just like launching a huge haymaker with its like fleshy sort of limb and everything. So what would you like to do in response?
Oh, and it's just like coming at me like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am going to.
So to help out, if
Yeah.
you're going to use your gun, it's going to be your dexterity firearms. Otherwise, you can use, you know,
Yeah, I think I am
dominate
gonna-
or whatever other abilities.
My
you can-
dominate is not for that.
Okay, yeah.
My dominate's like forget.
Yeah. You don't want to attack me. You don't want to attack me. As you're like,
I'm going to do firearms and dexterity. So that's 1 hunger, and that's 5 total. I got a 5 on the hunger dice, a 9, an 8, so that, and another 8. So 3 successes and then 2 fails and the fail on the.
okay, so you got 2 successes, correct?
3.
Oh, 3 successes? Okay.
2 8s. 2 8s, 1 6, 9.
Okay. So they got 5 successes on you. So what this means is that they break through to, so you do unload your gun and try to, like, you know, stop it. But the stopping power for this like 9mm or what have you just is not enough to stop this creature as it continues forward. So you did hit it, but then it hits you. So you're going to go ahead and take 1 aggravated damage from this. So how damage works in Vampire the Masquerade is there is superficial damage and there's aggravated damage. So superficial for vampires, at least, getting, you know, shot with a gun, getting stabbed with a knife, getting punched in the face, what have you. These are things you can easily heal from without much problem. Aggravated damage is being hit hard by like a car, or being hit by the sun, or like being attacked by a giant flesh monster. And like, so when you're aggravated, when your health bar reaches full with aggravated, you go into torpor, where you immediately just slump down to the ground and you just pass out. And you will come back eventually, unless your head's chopped off or like you burn in the sun or what have you. But you just like knocked out essentially at that point. So who here? So you saved Bruce. So Bruce is still alive as he presses himself against the wall, and he's like, "Oh my god!" As he's like taking photos with his phone, and then we're trying to, at least, and then and yeah. So now we're gonna go to the actual like combat. So does anyone here have celerity? Because celerity is an automatic. You go first. Okay.
Nope.
So who has the highest dexterity?
I have
I only
three.
have 2.
3,
One.
2, 1. All right.
Oh.
So Miguel, you're gonna go ahead and go first, and then the monsters are gonna go, and then everyone else is gonna go.
I kind of, seeing as Valentine and I have swords, I kind of want to do a Chrono Trigger like combo attack, like the X cross.
Yeah.
See if we could do something like that. So is there any way, seeing as Valentine has 1 dex, is there any way that we could both kind of like wait to go at the same time?
That's right. You can hold your action. Yeah. So you're like, do you remember the Japanese RPG that came out of the 90s called like, and you're just like telling
from
this
Akira
Valentine.
Toriyama.
Yeah, exactly.
The opening song was really good. That
So,
frog.
One of the flesh beasts. So it's now the monster's turn. So one of the flesh beasts that used to be a fellow kindred, a Tremere that got trapped in this like blood prison, essentially, has become like just a horrible monster, is going to continue to attack Manny. So again, you get to decide what you want to do. So you can do firearms, you can try another ability. If you want to try to dodge, that's athletics and dexterity, but I don't think that's your bread and butter, right?
Yeah, it's not my bread and butter.
Okay.
What's on the ceiling?
On the ceiling, it's just it essentially just looks like a normal sort of like
anything that I can shoot down.
Sure, we'll say there's a chandelier that's there. Yeah.
No, maybe not a chandelier. Sounds very specific. I'm thinking more like just like even like bars or beams, like something to get its attention so that I can get out of there. I'm not trying to kill it. I'm just trying to distract.
Maybe like a
Sure.
statue or something.
Yeah, maybe a statue or something in there. That makes more sense to me.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna aim at it.
So you can do dexterity firearms, or you can try to do like, you know what, dexterity firearms is probably the best thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And they got
4,
2,
7,
3, 4.
6, 8. 3 successes, a 4 on the hunger die.
Okay, they got 5 successes again.
Oh my gosh,
So
what
if
are
you'd
they
like to,
rolling?
you can go ahead and use a pop a willpower point to
Uh-huh.
re-roll 3 dice that you failed. That's not
Okay.
hunger, or you can let it be. There's also the option for succeed at all costs. That means that whatever you're trying to do will work, but there's going to be a consequence down the line at the cost of that automatic victory. So it's up to you.
I'll pop a willpower. This is terrifying.
Go for it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's two. Yeah, just I have a 10, but that's the only 10, so that's 1, and then a 6. So that helped.
So 2 more. Okay.
Yep.
So you went from 3 successes to 5 successes. Is that correct?
5. Yeah.
Okay, good. So the problem though is that they are the initiator. So that means that if the initiator meets then they beats it.
Then they beat it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the good thing is you reduce the damage that you're going to take by a little bit. So you're going to take we're going to say 2 points of superficial essentially.
Okay.
So how you mark it is an X is aggravated and a slash is superficial.
Okay.
So in order to get another point of aggravated, you need to get all superficial on your tracker, and then it starts translating to aggravated unless you outright take an aggravated attack. So you should have one aggravated and then like two superficial.
Okay.
So the other monster will go, and they're going to go ahead and look to let me be kind to Manny and okay, it's going to go to Valentine as this creature rushes over to Valentine. So Valentine, go ahead and decide how you want to respond. If you have corrosive vitae or like, dominate or like, if, gun, sword, you can go ahead and use those if you'd like to.
Yeah. So you said that this thing is being controlled from, or is it being controlled
With
by
your
something?
with your 10 successes from the prior roll, you know that it's not. It seems like it's now a mindless beast that's just like attacking.
Oh shit. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to mesmerize it. Can I do that? Can I try to
Yeah.
mesmerize this person to just stop?
Absolutely.
Right
So on your what is that? A presence?
Dominates this.
Oh, it's dominate. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so dominate, and you have mesmerized. So what you're gonna do is costs a rouse check. So you're gonna roll a d10, and then 6 and above, you're fine. 5 and below, you gain 1 more hunger.
It's a 10.
Okay, good. So now you're gonna roll your manipulation and dominate, and they have to roll their intelligence and resolve. And they do not seem to have much intelligence.
Manipulation and dominate. Where's that?
Yeah. So dominate.
Okay.
Yeah. It's always confusing for new VTM players. It took me forever to find that out.
Yeah,
All right, so they don't have much intelligence. So
Yeah. They hit hard though. So
never mind. They got a critical success. Okay, so they got 4 successes.
6 successes.
Okay, good. So you go ahead and mesmerize them. So you can issue complex commands to a victim as long as you can hold their gaze and communicate the instructions clearly, which must be carried out immediately to the victim's best ability, and which must not contain conditional actions. So what is it that you would like to say to them to have them do immediately?
Stop. Right. And like stop in their tracks. Like
Sure.
I just wanted to make you said he was coming towards me, right? So
absolutely
charging towards me. So I'll just hold my hand, look into this person's or whatever creature's eyes, and just say, stop.
And you do so as they were like a bull just rushing towards you. They suddenly just find themselves stopping abnormally in front of you as its like giant tongue licks its eyeball and and all that kind of stuff. So now we're gonna go ahead and go over to Miguel again. Would you like to take your action now or still hold it?
The one in front of Valentine stopped. The one in front of Manny they're still
correct, like just wailing on him. Yeah. It's like,
yep.
Fight back.
I'll go ahead and I will go after the one that is engaged with Manny.
Okay.
So that's gonna be I'm gonna use my
So if you want to use your sword, that'll be your strength or dexterity. I'll let you pick, and then it'll be your melee because it's a melee weapon.
I will take my gun out and shoot at it.
Okay, so there's 2 ways you can do this. One is dexterity firearms, or you could do composure firearms, depending if you're taking aim or if you're just like quick draw firing.
Okay, I will do composure and firearms. So that's
sure.
4.
And to help you out as well, if you choose to drink from any of these unconscious kindred, you will gain like 2 points, we'll say, in blood sorcery. Until you choose to drop it or drink some for someone else. Yeah.
It's because he's
thin blood. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so you
Well,
don't want to
let's do
fire
it.
anymore. You want to go and like feed on someone.
Yeah, I'll feed on someone to gain the extra 2. So I'll do that.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
You
So
swayed
there's
me.
you have your pick. It's like you're in a grocery store as you go and like sample a little from Lily, and you're like, and you're
How
like,
do the
yeah.
rest of us feel about that?
I mean, the fact that your ally is like feasting while you're getting beat up on, you don't feel too good about that. But
Right.
them drinking from another kindred is like, ooh, because
Yeah, must be another Tuesday.
yeah. Oh, Miguel.
Oh,
Oh,
Miguel.
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 At least they're all unconscious this time.
You couldn't
Oh,
have
God.
waited until
Alright.
after until after that one stopped attacking Manny.
You know, Miguel has to eat before he goes into combat. So
Right,
You
right.
take you take your sharpened metal straw and just stick it on someone and then like drink. So, yeah.
So I have an extra 2.
And then Jimena, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, am I able to use my hiding from the wolf for this?
Yeah, if you'd like to. So, that's an ability that I need to be more familiar with. Can you read it for me, or do you not have it up?
Yeah, I have it up. It's the sentinel is skilled in being unseen by both predator and prey, getting 1 extra die on any roll to hide by any means.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. So, Miguel, it's still your turn. So, you chose to drink from Lee's like kindred, right?
Yes.
Right. So you got the 2 blood sorcerer points. So going over to Valentine, what is it that you like to do?
Okay, so is the Primogen still here?
Yep, their
Primogen?
vessel is at least yeah.
Okay, so can I try to just go over to the Primogen? Is it Primogen? I don't know.
Yep.
Okay, and just I don't know, sort of connect myself to her to just power her up and just to help everybody else here, like that sort of connection of blood, if you will.
Yeah, so there's a couple things you do. Number one, you can, if you have an ability like scry the soul or something like that, you can try to use that. If not, you could try to just do an intelligence occult check to gather more information to see if there's some way you can help her out, or if there's anything they can do to impact it. And then if I'll also let you do something else in this turn if it doesn't go in your favor. Like if you fail to roll, I'll let you.
Okay, I'll just do that then. So that's intelligence and occult.
Yes.
Oh, I have the rituals thing here. Like,
yeah, you get 1 extra die then to your dice pool.
Oh.
Anytime you're doing something specifically with rituals, yeah.
Okay, so that's 4, 4, and 1. Okay, so that's like. Oh man. Okay. All right. All right.
I got excited just hearing the
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Right.
So I got 2 oh actually
2 10s?
5. Yeah,
Okay.
2 10s. Well, 2 sets of 2 10s.
Oh wow, so it's 8. All right, you're good. You don't need to count anymore. So with that massive success, what happens is that you go ahead and use all of your knowledge and all of your abilities to be able to try to understand the situation that's happening. And you can recognize that the body that you see in front of you is just an empty vessel. Her spirit and soul is not within her. So it's just kind of, even though she's chanting and chattering, you hear her words and you definitely recognize that it's sort of like sort of an astral projection as well as a warding to keep everyone sort of safe as much as possible.
Oh, okay.
Ernesto is also trying to keep everyone from turning into these flesh beasts. So if he fails, they all turn to flesh beasts and they all die immediately. And
Okay.
yeah.
So my point is to go to Ernesto and try to help him to try to suppress all the negative things, right?
Potentially. So you also notice that it's inevitable that they're all going to become flesh monsters. Like he cannot hold out forever. But finding the Primogen somewhere in this hotel, which he said the roof, and helping her is the only way to figure this all out. Number 2, you recognize that all of you are stuck in this blood prison. Like the moment you enter this sort of room, your bodies just fell to the sort of ground, and your soul is essentially trapped in this blood prison. As that revelation comes to you, so it's imperative that you find Cynthia and help her overcome this. Otherwise, you guys are dead and gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just try to go there, and I just have this whole revelation, and I just say, we need to fight Cynthia. This is not safe for us. We just need to help her, and maybe we can stop this. And I'll just try to head on to the elevator and try to open it up.
Sure. I'll let you get to the elevator, and then you click it one more time as Bruce is also trying to open the elevator, and it does ding open. It definitely seems to be struggling on getting to you guys, but it does end up getting there. But you look into it, and the numbers on the control panel are flickering, and they're changing numbers. So like 7 is now 10, is now 13, is now like, whatever. And there's weird sort of ooze seeping from the actual like ceiling and kind of dribbling down the walls, and nothing seems right here. Meanwhile, Jimena, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I know. Okay. If I can use the hiding from the wolf, I don't know if I need to roll for that, or
we'll say it's automatically activated. So the creatures don't recognize you at this time. You are like hidden from them. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I mentioned quickly to Valentin, if you want to stay here and help Ernesto, since you are Tremere also and able to do some sort of blood sorcery with him and hold off on these kindred, I can sneak away with Bruce and try to find Cynthia. Is it Cynthia or just the
Cynthia? Yeah.
Great. Okay. These predators aren't able to see me, so whatever you want to do, I can sneak through, or I can try to fight him off here with Manny and Mika.
That's a good idea. Yeah, do that. I'll stay with Ernesto and try to help him. Be safe.
Thank you. And I slip through with Bruce into the elevator.
Okay, you guys get into this elevator as he's like, I don't know what to do, as he looks at the control panel and the numbers are flickering like pretty fast. So you're trying, your ultimate goal is to get to floor 16 to get to the roof, essentially. And you're on floor 13, so you only need a couple more floors to get up here, but it's the control panel is acting very odd. And then Manny.
Yep. I don't want to be in a firefight, especially if more of these are going to transform shortly. I would want to run and hide somewhere, or try to just
sure. So you can do athletics dexterity to try to like run away, essentially, and then they still get their reaction, so they still get to do something.
That's not, but it's gonna hit me, and then I'm just gonna get in more pain. I'm gonna shoot the one attacking me. I'm going to aim at it. And so Manny is looking at this thing as it just swung. It hit him. And he starts talking. He's like, "Shut up," because he's like hearing these voices like talking to him in his head, and you just hear him go, and he's like trying to drown out the sound, and you see his gun sort of slow down as he aims to fire, and then let's see, because my composure is better than my dexterity. So he's used to hearing voices. 1, 10, an 8, a 6, and a 9. That's 4 successes and a 4 on the hunger.
Okay, so you got 4 successes, and they ended up getting 3 successes. So you succeed in this endeavor. So your gun gives you a +2 damage, essentially, to whatever you're trying to do. So you have 1 success. So you see that as you unload into them, one of your shots hits hard and fast, and takes out like some of the eyes, or hinders their visibility and all that kind of stuff as it kind of like flails aimlessly, crashing into the walls and taking like chunks out of it and everything. But it's harder for it to seemingly hit you as you probably back away into the sort of elevator.
Yeah.
And then and yeah, so in the situation, Ernesto kind of like yells to you guys, like, I can't hold them for long. You guys got to get out of here and save Cynthia, please. Like, as he kind of like yells out to you guys. Do all of you enter this elevator together, or do you choose to do anything else?
I will do cover fire for Valentine to try to join us. Because I don't think it's safe for you to stay here, Valentine.
Okay.
Like, I will call out, like, I'll be like, come
I feel at
on.
this point we all need to come together.
Yeah, because these things are just gonna keep chasing us, it feels like.
How many you said were already laying down? Because there was 2 up.
Yeah. So there's 2 up. One is like blinded essentially, and the other one is mesmerized. So just like frozen in place. Yeah.
Okay.
And how many you said were laying on the floor?
There's
Convulsing?
probably maybe like 28, like 30 or so. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. We all need to go.
yeah.
All right. I'll just turn to the mesmerized creature and I'll just try to say protect Ernesto. Protect Ernesto.
It hears a command and then immediately just like wrestles with the one that's sort of blinded and like trying to like take them down as they're both like, Godzilla versus King Kong essentially.
Oh,
And then
that's cool.
and Miguel, do you skateboard into the elevator or do you
Yeah, is there anything in the room I could use to kind of like barricade or like board up the elevator? Essentially what I want to do is I want to use far reach to kind of like use some telekinesis to kind of create like a barrier, just to delay them a bit to get to the elevator to either like
Sure. There's furniture in this room that like absolutely can be used. So you use that. Do you need to do a roll for it or a rouse check at all?
I need to, let's see, 1 rouse check
Okay.
for it.
So go ahead and roll a d10. And then I'm so sorry, Meg. You hold up a message. What was that message? Or did you? Oh yeah. Oh, got it. Okay, I thought it was like everything's on
All
fire,
right,
or something.
I go up in my hunger.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So I failed my rouse check, but then I do.
So you gain 1 more point of hunger.
Mm-hmm. And this is resolve alchemy, resolve plus alchemy versus strength and athletics of whatever object. I mean, it's furniture, so resolve and my alchemy. Of course, this is my lowest one.
And we'll probably say like 2 successes is what's needed here. Yeah.
All right, so it's 2 on a blood die. And then 1. All right, I pass. I get 2 successes on my blood die, both 6s, and a 2 on my regular dice.
Okay, good. So with that, you're able to pull this furniture together to create a barricade, separating these flesh beasts who are now wrestling with one another from getting to the elevator. As you like slip into the elevator and the doors like close together. As you look to this control panel and it's going chaotic in a chaotic manner. You see 14 appear every so often, or like you see 16 appear or 15 appear, anything to get you to your goal because you want to go up, not down. So in order to hit the successful, like the number successfully, you're going to have to do dexterity athletics essentially to hit this number. So whoever wants to try.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Can I rouse my blood to get like extra points in athletics?
Yes. So what you can do is you can do a rouse check, so a d10, and then you can either do a blood surge, meaning that on every roll for a scene you have an extra die in your dice pool, or you can actually that's exactly what you're doing. All right, yeah, go for it.
Okay. Yep, I pass with a 6.
Okay, good. So for this entire scene, you're gonna have 1 more die in your dice pool for dexterity checks.
Okay, so that is a total of 6 dice. 2, 4. 6 over here. That is not that good. So I got a 6 and a 7 on my blood dice.
Okay.
Um,
So that's
actually,
2
that's pretty good.
successes.
I got a 7, a 3, a 1, and a 2 on my other dice.
Okay, so that's 3 successes. So with that, you guys are all in this elevator, like hearing the sounds of the rumbling and the crashing of like stuff as Bruce is like, oh my god, am I gonna die? As like he's like kind of freaking out, not knowing what he's gotten himself into.
Not on my watch, Bruce.
And sure enough, Miguel, you're able to find, 15 essentially is what you were able to get, which is the closest, but you successfully hit it as it goes like burm and is slowly churning up as it escalates or elevates. You see that more and more ooze is coming down the walls and seeping in to the point where it's getting into your shoes and all that sort of stuff. Now, question, Valentine. Your friends here don't know that they're in like a blood prison and their bodies aren't actually their bodies. It's like their spirit has entered this sort of realm. Do you want to give them this information, or do you feel like ignorance is bliss?
So yeah, I think we're all in the elevator, and Valentina's gonna be like, so you guys, no. So it turns out that everybody right here is not. This is not our body. We are basically just the souls right now.
I look around at like the walls oozing, and I go, yeah, this is oddly more simple than what I usually see all the time. And then I pull out my notebook to start drawing it.
It's still there. Everything you had on you is still there with you. Yeah. And then
This was what I had seen from my senses. Okay.
and yeah,
I'm gonna
if
be
you
able to shred with my skateboard. It's all like this. This is bummer, man.
Well, I mean, you can still do that, but it's not really your body. It's more your soul doing the cool stuff. So I
That
guess
is kind of cool.
that is
Soul boarding. Nice.
So we need
Yeah.
to figure a way out of this. The longer we stay in this, I fear is not great for us.
Agreed.
exactly.
All right.
Is there an escape hatch on this elevator? Like,
there is, yeah, you absolutely see one.
okay. I don't know how is this gonna work. Can I use my clinging of the insect to like climb up over the hatch and try to get quicker to the roof where Cynthia is?
Let me go ahead and check out that ability super fast. That way I'm on the same page. And it was
Clinging of the insect. This ritual allows the caster to cling to walls or ceilings as would a spider.
perfect. Okay, got it. Yeah. Absolutely. So you take like a spider, you crush it up and put it into sort of an elixir, and then you take it. For this ritual, does it say that you need to do a like rouse check at all?
No, it doesn't say anything like that.
Okay. Oh, here they are.
But I can do it if I want.
Let me check really quick. So it was clinging, and it was a level 1 ability.
Yes.
Clinging of the insect. Yeah, here we go. 1 rouse check. Yeah. So go ahead and do a rouse check.
That's a 7.
7. Okay.
Mhm.
So you succeed, so you don't get any more hunger. And yeah, you are able to cling like an insect essentially to walls, ceilings, all that sort of stuff. No problem at all. As you get to this, do you go to the hatch?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is I'll take the spider and I crush it. Sorry, buddy. And I crush it and I just do this thing with the little body, the corpse. And I have all this substance on my hands, and I just try to climb up the wall and get over to the hatch and just say to everybody, I'm gonna try to get there faster, get as fast as you can, and I'm gonna try to get to Cynthia and try to stop her, but get as fast as you can. And I just
Okay, so you go to the hatch,
Like
and you
Antonio Banderas in the Interview with the Vampire.
so you find that there is resistance at this hatch. Go ahead and do an athletics and strength check to like push it open fully.
Athletics, and which one is athletics? It's a stamina? Strength?
It is yeah, so it'll be strength and then athletics, and athletics is a skill.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Okay, so 2 successes and yeah, 2 successes.
Okay, so with 2 successes, it's enough for you to be able to penetrate this essentially as you go and fling this open, and you look up to find tendrils and like it seems like saliva, and then a giant eyeball that's staring at you from all the way up top of the very elevator shaft, essentially, that just kind of like doesn't blink but just like move its eye around and seemingly see you as like tendrils are sort of like coming out of all the floors except for the one that you're approaching, which is it seems like floor number
15.
14 is the one that
Okay.
you're approaching right now.
Okay, so I just see that and I slowly close the hatch, and I don't think that's gonna work. So
You're like,
let's just
"What?"
drop
As you, like,
here
throw.
and go through the stairs.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I activate my heightened senses? Because I want to hear for
yeah.
things coming, and so I'm gonna go out the door when we get to whatever floor you said.
Absolutely. So if you have now arrived at floor 14, so there's a couple of things. Number one, Jimena, do you want to activate your sense the unseen?
Yes.
Okay, so you do so. There's red fog everywhere. Not only that, but you see specters that are wandering around, like ghosts, essentially.
Yeah.
That are kind of just like doing their thing, not really minding you guys, but they're all around this area because it's a haunted hotel.
Can those specters see us?
If they do, they don't care. Yeah, they just seem to be minding their own sort of business. They do acknowledge the tendrils and they walk around it and like float around it, all kind of stuff. But
Okay.
yeah. So with heightened senses, you turn that on and you hear the sounds of like a casual conversation happening as you get to floor 14, and down the hall you see 2 women that are kind of like at the soda machine, just kind of like getting a soda and being like, oh, I can't wait to see Black Panther 2 this weekend. I heard it's so good. And like, oh, same, as they're kind of just like, chatting and everything. And they don't seem to acknowledge any of these fleshy sort of tendrils, eyeballs, like mouths that are just jabbering nonsense and all that kind of stuff. But you take it all in as you like your senses are essentially assaulted by
I
all
would
this
turn it off
information.
at that point, and I turn around to
Yeah.
Valentine, and I'm like, are blood prisons just like overlays on top of normal?
So
yeah.
yes, that blood prisons are essentially like mental prisons that you can keep literal like physical bodies and vessels into them, so that way if you need to send someone to prison, essentially you could do that by like their physical vessel is like in the real world, but then their like mind and soul are trapped in this area. And
Okay, so Valentin is just gonna say, so technically they're metaphysical manifestations of, and she just looks at a tendril and say, yeah, pretty much, yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
And you can see that you are seeing this mesh or merge of what's happening in the mortal realm for the hotel and what's happening in this sort of blood prison, because they're over top each other. Yeah, like an overlay essentially. And you see that it is a floor of just hotel, rooms. As you kind of look through here, there are some that are cracked a little bit open, some that are wide open, and some that are completely closed. Even some that have lock and key and chains and all that kind of stuff. Which, Valentine, that those are where the designated prisoners are, like that you have deemed, too dangerous for society. So therefore, you lock them in those vaults. But these other ones shouldn't be occupied at all. But you hear weeping and you hear joy and you hear all these sort of things that are coming from all of them. And yeah, so with your heightened senses really quick, and also your sense the unseen, you can see that there is this like like sickly green energy that's like spilling from one of the rooms that's cracked open down the hall. It seems to be what would this floor be? 14? So like 1 4 69 essentially.
Nice.
As as there's something that's spilling from here. Now, the heightened senses will tell you that there is someone that's shattering, being like, I have to keep it together. I can't let it go. I have to keep it together. You know, you don't want me, you want someone else. Like, please leave me alone. And meanwhile, you do see the fire escape, and you see it on the side that is like completely covered in like tendrils, that is like seemingly impassable. But you guys can do whatever you like to here. So you've exited the elevator, and it doesn't seem to want to go any further up. It like, in fact, you have to crawl out of the elevator in order to get to this floor. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I like lean against the door that had that person talking on the other side, saying they have to keep it together, that they're not the one that they want. And I'm like, I wonder whoever's in here is talking to someone. I mean, maybe people go crazy. You said it's a prison. That's right. But it sounds like he's trying to hold it together somehow.
Manny, we have to go.
Yes. And what if this person is the person who can help us do that? I don't know what's going on here.
Are we all kind of like grappled or
not grappled at all. So you guys are free. There are tendrils around you, but they're not grabbing you or anything like that. They're just simply like there. And
okay.
You guys are currently in front of the elevator, and to the left of you, there's a bunch of hotel rooms. To the right of you, there are hotel rooms. But
They're in
one
the
of them,
corridor.
yeah, but one of them seems extremely covered in tendrils. The other one is partially covered. You know, tendrils a little bit easier to go through, and that pathway is where this cracked room, where the like green sort of like fog is spilling from, and also tainting the tendrils. Yeah.
Okay.
I
turn to Manny and be like, do you feel like this is really important? Like,
something's telling me that maybe, yeah. I'm gonna try to unlock the door.
Oh no.
Sure. So do you want to do it by force, simply turn the handle, or like
larceny? My break in specialty. So,
sure. I will help you out though, that the door is unlocked. So if you would like to access this door, you absolutely can.
Much better.
Good
you
job,
still like
Manny.
take out your
Okay, so wasn't
locking
even
kit,
a criminal.
like,
See, so that makes me feel better. I open the door to see what's in there.
okay, cool. So you see that as you open this door, and is anyone else here? Do they you guys follow?
Actually,
or like,
before
go check out
before people follow, I might do unseen passage, so whatever's in there can't see me.
Unseen passage. Okay, so you go unseen, as like no one can see you at this point unless they would like or truly try to want to. As you make your way there, you kind of open or nudge this door open. And is anyone else with you, or do you guys all let him
Is my hiding from the wolf still active?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of like right behind you, Manny, kind of like just peeping, trying to be kind of.
Yeah, we're both the sneaky ones.
I'm going with Manny and him and as well.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'll go last of the group.
Yeah, I mean,
fair distance. Yeah, you and Bruce are paying back as so at this time you go to this door and you feel like it vibrating essentially as you go to open it, and you see this woman that's like midair, just kind of like dangling, as she's just like saying what you heard under her breath, being like, I can't let go, I gotta keep it together, and all that kind of stuff. Jimena, you definitely see that from her body, there seems to be a deep-seated sort of corruption that's taking it over, that's like tearing her essentially apart. And she's using her last bit of willpower to keep it together. But it also seems to be tied to the fire escape where you guys need to go to get to the roof, essentially. So if you could try to bypass her, but you'll have to break through the tendrils. But it seemingly, if you like break her willpower or something, it'll make the tendrils recede. But who knows what's going to happen once she gives way to this thing that's corrupting her.
Am I able to use my occult? Like, I don't know if because I have a specialty for grave rituals, but I don't know if this would help for that. But at least just my occult and my investigation to kind of get a sense of like what exactly is happening.
Sure. So you can choose to do your intelligence or your wits, and then you can do your occult. And then yeah.
Okay, so I just add those up, right?
Yeah, so intelligence or occult, or sorry, intelligence or wits, and then you choose occult. So yeah, whichever's in your best interest.
Okay, and the difficulty one?
The difficulty for this one, we're gonna say is 3.
Okay. I have 4 successes.
Okay, good. So with 4 successes, you examine this sort of situation and you realize her body's about to give way to like a malicious spirit, essentially. So she's not going to turn into a flesh beast, but she still is going to turn into like a specter that is going to want to attack you guys. Now, you know, from all your experience with grave robbing and like, you know,
Ghost and
death,
necromancy.
exactly, that specters.
Because I have a specialty in ghost too.
Oh, that's great. That is like totally up your alley. So you know that specters are unique individuals or beings that, number one, they need what's called a fetter, which is like if you D&D terms, it's a phylactery, where it's like a physical object that they really, really care about. That is where their soul is trapped into. Number two, they can manually choose to come physical or go like, you know, spectral, essentially. And when they're physical, you can harm them and they can harm you. When they're spectral, they can move things around and sort of mess with you guys, but they can't quite attack you guys.
Like a poltergeist?
Exactly like a poltergeist. So and she is if you disturb her, she will become that. But it seems like her becoming that will also deactivate the tendrils, allowing you access to the fire escape. But she might attack you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a conviction where I always have to feel like if there's like a woman in danger, I have to help her no matter what.
Good. Okay.
So I look over to Manny, since he's closest to me. And I tell him, if we break her out of this spell or bind that she's in, she will die and she will become a specter in this hotel. We're basically left with 2 options. We can leave her be and try to go to where we need to go, and she will be fine. Or we try to break her free from this, and she will attack us.
But and he points over to the tendrils on the fire escape that you are heading towards.
Those are responsible, yeah.
But those are, if she doesn't, and GM, please make sure I'm understanding this correct. If she falls to this, those go away.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we can go up. But we don't want that. We want to leave her in this so she stays alive.
It depends, you know. So you could always try to like leave her be and then try to cut the tendrils or something, or try to like get through it.
I'm trying to figure out how we can get past those things without her dying. Is there a way, I don't know if this is a thing, for someone to bolster her combating against this? Like magic, or
it would be blood sorcery. Yeah,
it would be blood sorcery, of course.
I look over to Valentine. Valentine.
All eyes fall on Valentine.
As I'm talking to Jimena about this, I'm like, oh,
Valentine, she will die if we break her from this. There's no saving her, but we need to get upstairs as well.
So
what is your expertise in this?
How can I help her not try to die?
Oh yeah, you have cleaning of the insect too. So you're like on the roof essentially, and like
looking
at walking on the ceiling. So anyways, or on the ceiling, yeah. So what you can do is you can choose to do your intelligence and blood sorcery to try to like help her out and to fight this thing. Like alternatively, if you have corrosive vitae, you could try to just like melt the tendrils and see if that'll be enough to get you through. If you just want to be like, we don't care about her, and then like, you know, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Can I use Shape of the Sanguine Sacrament to just create like this fake tendrils to just hold her down and to be connected to me in some shape or form to just like help battle this thing?
Potentially. What was the name of the ability called?
Shape of the sanguine.
Sanguine. Yeah, yeah. Shape of the sanguine. Shroud. Let me go and check really quick.
All your abilities are the sickest sounding abilities I've ever heard.
They sound
I
pretty
know,
cool,
right?
yeah.
Oh, it's not right
I think
here.
it's just all the Tremere blood sorcery abilities. That's so
yeah.
nice.
Is that like a ritual or is it like
It says
it's
blood sorcery, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of the new ones. Yeah, you wrote allows a vampire to manipulate their or someone else's blood
To form
to form intricate images such as a simple message or geometrical shape. Okay, cool. And you wanted to try to like, hold her down or try to like stop her or something, right? Yeah.
Yes. Anything that I can do to just convey to them that they're safe and they can do this. Like I'm gonna be the cheerleader for this. Essentially.
you're trying to like inspire
Give her a
her.
mental
Yes.
fortitude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So I would say still go ahead and do your intelligence and like blood sorcery. That way you can go to roll for it. And then
and blood sorcery.
Did we want to try and cut the tendrils where the windows
Yeah,
at?
I think that's probably what we should do.
All right.
Yeah.
So, depending on what happens with Valentine, I have something.
Okay.
I could do.
So that's one success, but can I use my
So you can
willpower to?
Correct. So you can pop a willpower, and then go ahead and re-roll up to 3 dice that are non-hunger dice.
There are not hunger dice. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So that's 4 successes.
Okay, good.
Nice.
So you meet it. So you are the initiator. So that means that you succeed in this just barely. You're able to go like, all right, as you roll up your sleeves essentially, and you pour your blood sorcery into her, and you try your best to touch her temples, and you feel immense conflict within her body and soul and all that kind of stuff. And there's a deep-seated corruption that you've never felt before. And even coming in close proximity with it kind of makes you fearful that it's going to spread to you, but it doesn't. And you're able to use your blood sorcery to hold and maintain this sort of like corruption in her. You can't remove it, unfortunately, and she can't remove it, but it's enough to keep her wits about her as she no longer, is floating in midair, but comes down from it and kind of awakens as she seems very haggard and very like sort of gaunt and everything. But she goes like, "Oh my God, Valentine, it's good to see you." As this is, we'll say Sierra. And she goes like, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? As she seems very confused.
You seem corrected, but some kind of stuff that I don't understand, and that's as best as I could leave you right now.
And she goes like, yeah. And you see that like, because you did this, the tendrils are receding from this sort of area. And she goes like, I just remember we were helping the Primogen with like a ritual, and then something was chasing me. I think I remember now. And she goes like, oh my God, like you're a hound of you guys are all hounds. As she kind of recognizes this, she goes, so it's gotten that bad, huh? As she kind of just realizes her situation. But she goes like, well, I'll do whatever I can to help you guys.
I know this is not while they're talking to her. I'm going to grab or ask Miguel to sit on his skateboard because I'm going to try to premonition.
You just immediately like to sit on it. Yeah.
Like I asked, but while they're talking, because I need to know what the thing that was chasing her was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
so 1 rouse check.
Yeah. Let's see.
And then
Better you to do this than me. I don't want to ruin my dress again tonight.
I love
it. No.
I love that.
7. Okay. So you're good. You don't get any more hunger. So now go ahead and roll your resolve and actually, I'll give you this to you. So with this, what happens is that your eyes roll in the back of your head as visions start to flash before you of the past, the present, and the future. One of the things you see is that Sierra is able to keep herself together as she's able to maintain herself, even though it's very hard for her to do. She's able to help you in different ways coming up. Then when you come to this staircase, get up to this next floor, there is so much mental assaults that are sort of going on to the point where all of you fall like potentially victim to it. You at least see a couple people like fall to this like mental assault, and they seem to be trapped within a deeper level of this like blood prison, like an exception essentially. So you know that there's something that's going to hit you hard and fast from a mental capacity that's going to take your willpower to resist. So whatever willpower you have remaining, that's what you're going to use as your defense for it. And as far as what was chasing her, you see that there is this creature that almost looks sort of like an angel of some capacity, but is very like twisted and like looks just sort of like a fleshcrafty sort of creature with various eyes and like wings, and like looks like a feminine figure that you've never quite seen before, but they're wielding blood sorcery like nothing, like it's super easy. And that seemingly was what corrupting this entire area, and that's what the Primogen is sort of fighting on this roof. And you've never seen anything or felt anything like this before. And so that's what you see as you pass out. And then
like
perfect.
biblically accurate. Angel.
Essentially, yeah.
Accurate angel.
Yeah, it does have sort of like wings, and it does look very beautiful, but also very twisted and not good at all. Like, yeah. So that's
like
what
a
you guys,
vampire angel.
essentially. Yep, got it. And so that's essentially what you guys like, or sorry, not what you guys, but that's what Manny sees. But the way forward is clear. Would you guys like to proceed or do anything else at this time?
Proceed.
All right. So, like I said before, you find yourself in the staircase. It's being taken over and corrupted by this flesh and tendrils and eyeballs and all that kind of stuff. But it's
sorry to cut off. We just like left her in that room. We tell her to like possibly. Well, she can't leave, can she? Or like,
she can, yeah.
Like,
she's able to she is weak, so she can't like full blown fight, but she is able to help out in her own way and keep the corruption. She at least tells you that like, I can help you. Like please, even if I die, it's better that I die in service of our Primogen than to just simply die here and be corrupted. So please take me with you.
I would like to say that Miguel, like seeing as he like skates around and probably skateboards with other thin bloods, that he probably has like some blood bags in him as like just like a little snack for like when the other homies the other homies get a little like hungry, like would that
Capri
help?
Sun blood.
When you get a little hungry,
would that help her out?
Fruit punch. Yeah.
I love it.
So all right, good. So you hand it to her?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So she takes it hungrily. She tries to be composed and have etiquette, but she can't help but just her fangs bare immediately and just like, shotguns it. And then she thanks you as she gains her strength back just a little bit more as she leans on Bruce, and Bruce helps her out. As he's like, I just bought this shirt, as there's like now goo and like blood on it and everything. So yeah. And then at this time, you arrive to this 15th floor. As you get there, you can see that this place is like pristine. It's like untouched by corruption. It looks super, super crisp. Before you're able to take a step into this floor, Manny comes to, as you've like awkwardly, use your use your skateboard to like up the staircase. Yeah.
And he goes, stop. Like he doesn't even like, which is odd for Manny. Like you've seen him usually pop out of a premonition and just like start drawing. He has not done that right now. He says to
Turn
stop,
to look.
and he goes, if we enter this next floor, we run the risk of getting lost in a deeper level of this mind prison or something like that. There's something powerful here. And then he looks over at Sierra and says, and you are to be very helpful in whatever is to come somehow.
She gives you a thumbs up as
I think that's a risk we just might need to just go.
Yeah, I just wanted to warn us before we're trapped inside of a trap. So
because of this information, you guys will all get a +1 to your dice roll to resist this, essentially. So whoever would like to go into this, sort of floor and check it out, you can go ahead and do your willpower. So look at how many willpower you have left. Huh?
I was gonna say, am I able to use my unswayable mind?
Absolutely. If you have unswayable mind, you
Ooh,
add that. So you have 2
nice.
extra dice to your dice pool. In
Okay.
addition, yeah. So you have
It's just 1 point in fortitude though.
okay. Then you get 1 more die. So you have 2 dice bonus for trying to resist.
Okay, so 3.
And does our blood dice count towards this or no?
They do. So that's always going to be a part of your dice pool, not in addition.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, if you only have 4 willpower, then you're going to roll 4 dice, and one of those 4 is your hunger die.
But
and
with
if
the
you-
+1, it would be 5.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I have exactly 4 willpower. So there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
I have 5 willpower.
2, 3,
5 willpower. Okay. So then you would have what is it, like 6, or sorry, 5, so that's 7
7?
dice you would roll. Yeah.
Okay. And still difficulty 3.
Difficulty you're not sure of. So actually go ahead and put 4. That's fine. Oh,
Okay.
I'm
All
going
right.
to use my last reroll that I got. So I'm going to reroll.
It says I got 7 successes, but a messy critical.
nice. We'll get to that in a moment. And then
Let's go.
I got a 1 on my blood die,
uh-huh.
and then I got
Okay, there we go.
all successes beyond that.
so
So
okay.
4 successes, but a 1 on the blood
That's
die.
okay. As long as, so the way the hunger dice works is if you get a critical success in your dice pool, so 2 10s, and one of those 10s is your hunger die, that is a messy critical, meaning that you go overboard. So you succeed in what you're trying to do, but your fangs bare, your eyes go red, your blood gets like intense and all that kind of stuff. So if there's humans around, they'd be like, that doesn't look right. But for the opposite end of the spectrum,
We
if
have a
you-
ghoul with us, don't we?
you do, but he knows. So a ghoul is someone who drinks vampire blood, and they're a part of the system. So if you get a 1 on one of your hunger dice and you fail the check, that makes you into a bestial failure, where you freak out and go into sort of a slight sort of frenzy.
So
or something.
luckily I didn't fail. Got it.
Correct. Yeah, you're good. So
So it's
2
good that I succeeded.
yes, 2 successes, and then Valentine.
So we were supposed to roll the willpower and what
Correct,
else?
and you just willpower. So
just willpower. Okay,
yeah.
so I rolled 5.
okay, and then and what was your starting willpower?
It was 4. It's always been 4.
Oh, so you've used some willpower, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I used that. So it's 3 then.
Yeah, so you would have 4 dice total. Then yeah, so go ahead. If you have one of the failures, then just you knock off one of the failures, and then
All right, so that's 4 successes.
okay, good. And then Miguel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay, good. So in this time, let me go ahead and check. Actually, that's way too much dice for Bruce. Okay, so all right, so that's at least 1 failure, and then yeah, that's good. So Sierra seems to be fine. You guys all enter this area. If you use Sense the Unseen, you can clearly see that there's like a brain sort of like creature that is like on the wall, that's like hiding itself essentially from everything, that is like producing this sort of illusionary sort of blood sorcery. But you guys are able to resist it as you got that warning, and you were able to fortify your mind as it almost breached it, but it didn't. As you like look to all your companions, they're cool, and you look back to find Sierra, and she's cool, but then you look to Bruce, and his eyes have kind of gone white as he's like just trapped in this sort of mental sort of prison. So if you like to, you can go ahead and choose to move forward, or you can choose to try to address this sort of illusion and break him free of it.
Can we drag him out of the room?
You do so, still same effect, as he's like trapped in this deeper layer of it.
So even coming out of the room, he's still stuck in that stance.
Correct, yeah. But Jimena, you do see that with your sense the unseen, there is this sort of like brain like creature that's like stuck to the wall that's like causing everyone else's mind to be warped and not see it, but you can see it with sense the unseen. And that seems to be pulsating as it's like producing this illusion that's trying to trap you guys. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna let everybody know.
Okay.
There is a creature right over there, and it seems to be emanating this effect for everybody. Thankfully, we're not affected, but that might be something we have to deal with. I don't know if you guys are able to see it, but it is right there.
You can't see it. You're like, she's crazy. It's like,
Does it make noise?
it does not.
Yeah. I'm like trying really hard to like hear or smell or like whatever, and I'm like, yeah, no.
I trust Jimena,
Mm.
and I'll look to see what everyone does, what Valentine does, what Manny does, and I'll act after that.
Okay. I'll just say that Jimena, hold my hand and point it directly to the creature.
Right over there.
Do you try to
Okay.
touch the area
Right
that's in, or
No, I'll just
Okay.
point my hand directly at
I'm just
it.
guiding his hand to where exactly it's going to be at. So I'm
Yeah.
grabbing your hand, Valentine, and I'm kind of directing to where, and I'm saying it's right up there in that corner, right up top of the ceiling.
And I am gonna do my can I do mesmerize? I'll try to use mesmerize on this brain creature.
Sure. Yeah. You'll get like a -1 penalty because you can't quite see the creature, but you look in the general direction and you do catch.
While he's doing it, can I hold my hand so that way there's more like steady for
Sure.
him to be doing
So
it?
a couple of things. One, if you try to touch it directly, Valentine, what happens is that you can't perceive that you're touching it. But Jimena, you see like it covered in goo, and he's like
Mhm.
actually touching the brain and all that kind of stuff, but he doesn't recognize it. Like his brain refuses to have him like be like, oh, it's not wet at all, when really it's like soaking wet. Yeah.
Okay.
So he can't feel it at all either.
Nope. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I just thought of something really ridiculous. Maybe it'll work, maybe not.
Sure.
Can I use my truth of blood
Truth of
to
blood.
just truth of blood to just make this creature real for everybody?
Oh, that's good.
Let's see here. And that's a truth of blood. Here we go. So the caster can discern truth from lies. 1 rouse check. So go into your rouse check. So 1d10.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Perfect. And then go ahead and you will say, yeah, it succeeds. As you go ahead and maybe snap your fingers as you rouse the blood and cause it to happen, as everyone can now see this brain creature as it's pulsating, and there's sort of like tendrils that are kind of like wiggling from it, and it's like spores from a mushroom that is like just exuding into this area. Yeah.
All right. And I'll just hold my hand and like,
So cool.
let him have it, everybody. Let it have it.
I drew a sketch first.
You're like, wait.
You do. Of course you do.
You're such the artist, Manny.
And Miguel?
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use far reach to take my sword and have it attack the creature.
Okay. And
so that would be if I'm taking my time to aim it, will it be more composure and melee?
let me see here.
Far reach is
yeah, so go ahead and do a rouse check. So a d10.
Okay.
Push, pull,
10.
hold, or grab objects with their mind. Okay.
So that would be alchemy versus strength, actually. Because
yeah. Why don't you just go ahead and do your dexterity or strength and melee as if you were wielding the sword itself, and that's what your sort of your mind will do. So just go to roll as if you were.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 2, and I need 3 dice. No more reroll.
Oh, and it's getting late, so I'll go ahead and wrap this up too. I just really looked at the time. Yeah.
I only have one success on my blood die. The rest is another 5 on my blood die. 7 on the other blood die, a 2, a 1, and a 5.
Okay, so if you like to, you can pop a point of willpower and reroll 3 dice that are not blood dice.
Will actually do that. Mark it on my sheet.
It's Chris Angel, Book and Mind Freak. Oh my god, that's funny.
Nope. Only a 7.
Well, is it okay? So at least 2 successes, and it's like stationary, can't move. So you do take your sword and you like have it get pulled out from your like sheath, and you fly it over to the creature as it just stabs deep, and it shudders for a bit longer, and then kind of like deflates essentially as Bruce comes back, and he's like, "What was weird? I was like, it was my wedding day," and then and he was kind of just like going like, I saw it so vividly. I thought it was, we were on our honeymoon and everything was cool. As he's like, this is so odd, as he is like reeling from his experiences as he was like trapped in this memory that he had. And
it's all right, Bruce. Like it wasn't real. The thing was tricking you. It's playing tricks with you. But we need you here, Bruce. Focus.
He's like, you got it, sir. As he like helps Sierra like make their way. As he points, he goes like, that's the fire escape to get to the roof. As you see it, and there's more tendrils, more eyeballs, and everything like that. But that is the area to your goal. So, anything else you'd like to do here before you move on?
Nope. Let's just move forward.
No,
Get my sword back. That's about it.
All right, cool. You like wipe it off, and then yeah. So at this time, you find yourself heading up to the through the staircase to the roof. It takes a little bit of force to open it due to the pressure building on the other side. But when you finally do open it, it crashes into the wall next to it. And you immediately hear the sounds of a raging storm and thunder booming and lightning cracking as you find the Tremere Primogen, Cynthia, is using all of her blood sorcery, like commanding her blood and shooting it with blood bolts over to this like vampiric angelic looking sort of creature. But it's a sort of a stalemate. Actually, it's not really a stalemate because Cynthia is losing horribly as her spirit is not looking too good at all and is getting very, very weak. And you actually come onto the roof as you see her getting like Yamcha'd like into the like a crater into the actual roof. Yeah. And so as you get up there, this is happening. You can see that this angelic sort of creature is there, and she's just like kind of cackling, and they turn to you and goes like oh my god, you must be the most foolish creatures I've ever met. Like, you willingly walked into this. As she goes like, but it's okay, like there's just a couple other people to add fuel to our flames. As she begins to she takes a very long sort of talon or claw, and then like cuts her arm slightly as she pulls blood from her arm, and then gets ready to use it as sort of a weapon, as a blood bolt essentially. And is there any questions you'd like to ask her or anything before you throw hands?
Why are you doing this?
Sure. So you ask, why are you doing this? And she tells you like, well, you'll have to forgive me because I am only a shade of my creator's power, and like I only have a fragment of their stuff. My motives are sort of unknown for like as to why I fully got sent here, but I know that I'm here to cripple the Camarilla by taking away the Chantry, and like that I've done in so successfully that even the most competent of Tremere, at least at this time, you could actually be Primogen at this point, because everyone else is like almost dead and gone. But whatever my creator's reasons are, taking down the Camarilla is one of the biggest parts, and to do that, the Chantry must go. That way they have no idea what's coming next for them.
Who created you?
Sure, go ahead and do a charisma and persuasion.
Okay.
Or intimidation, whichever you want to do. Yeah.
Difficulty still 4?
Difficulty will be 3 for this one.
3 successes.
Okay, good. So with 3 successes, you ask like who created you, and she like thinks about it for a moment, and she goes like, I guess I could answer your questions. The least I can do before destroying your spirits and like leaving your bodies to rot as vessels essentially for all eternity. And she goes, my creator is a very, very powerful blood sorceress that has come to Arizona and is starting to institute her own sort of cults. It's actually like the cults of Lilith, and we're going to go ahead and rise up, and we're going to convert the true believers and destroy any of the non-believers within this sort of community. And we've already started, like our ranks are growing, and it's you guys are one of the first steps to toppling everything and really ushering us into a new age and era of what kindred society should be like. And yeah, now you guys maybe actually go ahead and whoever wants to check, you can go ahead and roll for intelligence and occult to see like cult of Lilith. What is that? And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll use my 3 dice pool for this.
Hey,
I have
we're
You
the
like-
same.
you take out your cell
go.
phone.
6 successes.
Let's
You have
go
how
on
much?
that.
6 successes.
nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
I only got 3 dice, but I got 4 because I got 2 10s.
Nice.
I
Perfect.
only
So-
got a 10.
I got 4 successes.
So you know that the cult of Lilith is a cult specifically formed because a lot of kindred praise Cain as like the first true vampire and all that kind of stuff. However, Lilith was also in the picture just as powerful, if not more so, than Cain. And they believe that a lot of the teachings and philosophies of Cain and Cainites and all that kind of stuff are wrong, and it should be a different way of life, more power, more like all these sort of different things that kind of conflict with the Camarilla sort of ideologies and all that sort of stuff. So, and they're very powerful, and they attract a lot of people who want to explore the real limits and extremities of blood sorcery, but can't because of different things. And the masquerade doesn't quite mean as much to them. And that they were once pretty big, and now they've kind of gotten toppled. But now it seems like they're rising again in mass. So with that, is there any other questions before the Final Fantasy music starts?
Is it just us here, or is Bruce and Sierra up here with us as well?
Bruce and Sierra are also up there, but they're kind of like, should we just like let them do this? I'm sure that they'll like.
Okay. I guess with that information, should I don't know if we should tell both Sierra and Bruce to possibly, if they can, escape and maybe send word to the prince or to anybody higher up of what is happening, just in case if we don't make it out alive.
I think that's a great idea. I don't
Yep.
know how they're going to escape the blood prison while they're inside. Yeah, but
it's an
maybe-
all or nothing endeavor. It's either you succeed and you all escape, or you lose and you
And
all
we all
die here.
die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Yay.
I should have taken more fighting. All right, let's
Man,
go.
you could use a Bruja right now, couldn't you?
We
Yeah.
sure could.
Mm.
We sure could use our Bruja.
I'm just imagining like Friday's character, that Bruja, like over there in the Bad Bunny concert, like
Yeah,
having
right.
the-
Like
She just didn't get
twerking
the
as,
she
like-
didn't get the
like-
message from the prince. Like she's just having a great
ignored the
time.
text.
Like I'm using my PTO for this day. And, like, yeah. So
Before the Final Fantasy music kicks off,
Uh-huh.
I want to go to this angelic being,
sure.
and I'm gonna skate up to it, just roll
Casually.
right up to it and be like, look, I understand, like, you're here on orders from your primogen and whoever sent you, but can you hear that? I mean, that's Bad Bunny. I mean, I know you've heard of Bad Bunny,
Have you seen
but have you seen Bad
He's the best Toreador ever.
Have you actually
I mean-
felt the Bad Bunny?
you seen Bullet Train? Come on. Come with us. taking the show, use the skateboard. Let's just all have a good time.
Go to do a
Bruce
charisma.
and Sierra, you guys definitely need to get out of here.
Like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, as they're like just running. Go ahead and roll your charisma persuasion to try to like.
Okay, sure. That's 3 dice. So let's do it. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go ahead and at least blow one more willpower
Oh my god.
on my 1 dice. Y'all, if you want that, give us like an auto success. That'd be great.
You can use one of mine.
That's not it. That's just one. Oh, that's not even the. Never mind. Nope, I didn't get it. I don't
All
think I
right,
got it.
cool. So they got 5 successes on you. So
Yeah, don't worry about it.
what happens at this point is that she Frieza death beams you essentially as
Oh,
she
no.
takes out a bit of blood and then shoots it forward and it just like pierces through you. So you're gonna take you have 3 successes, right? Or 2 successes?
Oh, me? No, I think maybe I got 1. Maybe I moved my dice. I can't tell if it's a 7 or a 1 because they're so close to each other.
Okay,
at
so
first.
you got like 1
So
success
let's just say
at
I
best.
had at best. At
Okay.
worst, I got nothing.
Okay, so you're gonna take 2 aggravated at this point as
Sure.
yeah, as you're like trying your best to put your heart out there and trying to like convince her to listen to the sweet sounds of Bad Bunny, and she does not seem to be with it. It's just like, and then perfect. So going around to the same thing, it is going to go to we'll go ahead and go to normal order. So Miguel, it is your turn because you have the highest dexterity.
Do you see from taking that hit, you see I also mimic the Yamcha crater
Yeah.
and be like, they don't fuck with Bad Bunny. Like this is bad news. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to
What is this? What
You're
is
like, who
happening?
tried to use diplomacy? Whose idea was that? As you're like,
so we're like
Oh.
on the roof of
yes.
Is there like any like antenna around, satellite dishes, anything?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and again far reach, just grab like a satellite dish and just chuck it at them.
All right. So go and do a rouse check.
Been doing great at these. Not been doing great at these.
As your hunger.
I'm at
ticks
3
up.
hunger.
Okay. And then now you're gonna have to do your resolve and alchemy because some of these heavier objects are really, bolted into the ground or what have you.
Oh boy, this is all blood dice now. This is gonna be great.
And she's just gonna try to hit you.
All right. Well, I got a 10 on 1, a 3, and a 5, it looks like.
Okay, so 1 success.
Yep.
And
Yo, I
she got-
never said I was good at vampire. I just play it.
I just play it. Yeah. So she got 4 successes. So you had 1 success. So what happens that she now is going to fly towards you and just like, punch you essentially in the chest as you feel your bones shatter and sort of crack as you're going to take another point of aggravated. And then it's then going to go to, we'll go opposite order. So Manny.
Okay. Because I can't do like unseen passage because she's already seen me and you can't hide after they've seen you, right?
I mean, you could always do that. Let me see here. Unseen passage. So you essentially, this power allows you to move around while remaining hidden, effectively rendering you invisible. So if you did want to do that, you can. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do that.
So go
so
and
I
make a
can get-
rouse check.
Right. Let's see. Ooh, that's a fail. That's a 5.
So another hunger die. So
Right, so
the amount of
2.
hunger die you'll have in your pool is now increased as well.
Alright,
Yeah. And then you are now invisible. What would
alright.
you like to do in this invisibility?
I want to get, but like I'm positioning myself to hit her with the gun, like somewhere, like I'd like, well, just like no, like
The handle right on the back of the head.
Yeah, just a little pistol whip.
a pistol with your,
We're
I'm
gonna
thinking more
golden
like getting into a good shot position.
yeah. Aiming, go for it. Yeah. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and use your composure firearms, and then let's say add +2 dice to it.
Sure. And firearms. That's 3. That's 4. Oh no, not 4. It's 3 and 3. So that's 6. 1, 2. And then 2 more. Okay. Whoa, that's like all my dice. Look at, that's 10. I got a 7 and a 9 on the hunger dice. 10 and another 10. Look, this is a. Oh wait, nope. These are not 10s. Those are 1s. This is 1, 7, 1, 9. Yeah. So a 9, a 7. So 4 hits.
Okay. You succeed. Actually got 0 successes. So you go ahead and just unload your gun until it gets empty into her as her wings get pierced and she like gets hit in the head essentially. You see her like sort of regenerating, but it's like slowly moving and all that kind of stuff. So that was a pretty big hit that you did to her. And then Jimena.
So actually I had the same question. Like for Manny, is my hiding from the wolf still active? Like I know I spoke to her, but I don't know if I'm able to reactivate it.
Yeah,
if
so
I can.
the way I imagine hiding from the wolf, is sort of thing is that out of all the possible targets that she could choose from, you're the least, the least threatening sort of
Suspected.
thing. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So with that then, if I can go into like an area positioning somewhere like behind her where she's unable to actually have me at all in her sight.
Mhm.
And I have my dagger.
Mhm.
I know that Manny just shot and like trying to regenerate. Am I able to kind of like see if I can stab
Sure.
right behind, like in the center?
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and roll your strength or dexterity and then your melee.
Okay.
If you have any other abilities that would come into play here, you can go ahead and do that. And I can also check your sheet just in case.
Yeah, I have 3 melee, 3 stealth, and just 2 dexterity.
It would be dexterity, and then it'll be dexterity and melee would probably be the best combination
Okay.
for this one. And then yeah, that would be probably the best for you.
Okay, and then do I get an extra die from hiding from the wolf as well?
I would say so. Yeah, let's go and add a +1. Yeah, because you're not
Okay.
completely invisible, but you are like, yeah.
Okay. And then the difficulty 3 still?
Just put let me check. So it would be difficulty 5.
Okay. I got 5 successes.
Okay, so you're the initiator, so you beat it just barely. So you see that she has like bullet wounds essentially now, and she's like sort of bleeding from his black ichor like slips from these sort of wounds. You take your knife and you drive it deep into her and just continue like maybe you like prison shank her a bunch of times and all that kind of stuff as like
Like twisting it.
exactly, yeah. And she's like screaming in pain as she realizes that you guys might not be so pathetic as she thought you once were. And then Valentine.
Okay. So end game. I'm just gonna try to do forgetful mind on this angel thing. So it just forgets everything that the creator made them do. And just
Okay.
kind of
So
like a clean slate on their brain. I
sure.
guess.
Go in and do the rouse check. So it's a 1d10. And then see how that works out for you first.
That's a 7.
So okay, so it's good. And then after that, you're gonna do your manipulation plus your dominate.
Manipulation plus your dominant. Okay. That's 6. Okay. Oh, I forgot that there's another one. Yeah, so that's 7 successes.
Nice.
No,
Okay, good.
eight successes.
So that will be 8 successes. So they ended up getting 2 successes. So in this, you succeed in this as Forgetful Mind sort of activates, and you begin to breach her mind and start to warp it and mess with it. So what is it that you would like to like replace? Or yeah.
Anything that the creator, put in their mind to just hurt people.
Mhm.
I don't want them to hurt anybody. Pretty much, or not us, not anybody.
Okay, perfect. So you watch as her mind begins to rapidly sort of decay as she like goes to like address essentially Jimena and try to like, just rip her throat out essentially. But the moment like she's doing that, she makes eye contact with you, and then you just like temple touch as you try to like make her forget. Yeah, yeah. And sure enough, it begins to sort of work as she hesitates in her attack, and you see her blinking away, being like what am I like sort of doing here? Where am I like? And she's starting to like she for a moment grasps onto her purpose and her mission, but then it keeps slipping, and she seems like very distracted by all this. So Miguel, what is it that you'd like to do in this time as this distracted sort of like shade of this blood sorceress seems to be here?
I'm going to uh I'm going to just hold my gun up and just hold it. Just take aim just in case anything should go wrong, if some like this hold should break. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens.
Okay, she's going to attack you. She's like trying to head over to you. So if you'd like to, it's still your turn, so you can choose to return fire if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm going to use I'm going to take aim, so composure and firearms for this.
Lucky. Okay, 3 successes for her. So
all right, and I need 4 dice. One, 2, 3. I'm gonna blow a willpower and just re-roll 3, which will be these 3. So far, I have 3 successes.
Okay, good.
And 1 success on my blood dice is a 6.
Perfect. So
And I have 2 more successes.
okay, good.
So a
So
total of 5.
perfect. So you succeed in this as you go ahead and open fire. Is that correct? Or are you using your sword? Which one are you using?
I'm using my gun.
Okay, perfect. You begin to unload in her as she seems distracted, but she knows that you guys are enemies and not allies, and she tries to swipe at you guys, thinking that it's going to help her out. And she tries to go to you. She gets a face full of sort of lead, essentially. As she's not looking good at all. She's beginning into like decay more and more. And she's like, I don't understand what's going on. I like, I know you guys are bad, but I don't know why. And she's starting to like unravel as she just looks over to Manny, and then she's gonna try to do something to you. So go ahead and use your willpower, your remaining willpower, and roll against her.
Oh, what is she about to do to me?
Oh no. Oh no.
Yep. That's a 10. That's a 6.
Now my rolls are good. All right, that's 3 for me.
So I have a 4 and a 1. The 4 is a blood die and a 6 is a blood die. So I have those. But 2 successes, 2 fails.
Okay. So she got 3. Do you want to use a willpower to sort of? Actually, you can't use a
I
willpower on this
can't
one
on the
because
willpower. Yeah.
yeah. So with this, she looks into you, and her eyes go black, and your eyes go black as you suddenly are dominated by like this creature. As you see it begin to sway and sort of move around and look to your allies, specifically Jimena, as like. Now first, she used dominate on you, and it worked. So you're now under her control.
Okay.
It's gonna go over to Miguel because you have the highest dexterity. So what is it you like to do this time?
Can I tell that Miguel is under her influence or no?
Yeah, you see some like black orbs for eyes, and a corrupted sort of essence. Yeah,
So this is different from when he does his premonition, kind of
100%.
like zoning
Yeah.
out. All right. Um,
Can
and
I
I'll-
tell Miguel too that she has him dominated?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just gonna do the same thing I did before and just fire at
Miguel or Manny.
not at Manny, not at Manny, not at Manny,
Thank you.
not at Manny.
It's not gonna be the blood sorceress that kills
I
us.
know,
It's gonna
right?
be each other.
Yeah.
You fools! It was me the whole time. Manny.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't have been for you.
Right?
One,
pesky
two,
kids, you
three.
know?
Meddling
Four.
vampires. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 5 successes. A 7 on my 1 blood dice, 8, 9, 7, and 8 for my non-blood dice.
Okay, so we got 3. So that's great. So you go ahead and pour into this sort of creature as she's almost down, she's almost out, as she's like fallen to one knee essentially, and she's trying to pull out as much blood as possible, but it's getting thinner as her body's beginning to become like a raisin. It's kind of shriveled because she's used so much of it. So after that, it's going to go over to Manny. So Manny, you're going to take your gun and you're going to go ahead and shoot Jimena. So go ahead and roll your composure firearms, and
Okay.
then Jimena, you get to decide what you want to do, whether it's dexterity athletics to try to dodge, or you can use one of your abilities on him to try to get him to stop.
I got
I don't think I have anything that can help stop him.
Otherwise, you can-
Swable Mind, I can't
Mhm.
use Unswable Mind on him.
no, it's
Can
only for
I?
you.
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
I got 3.
am I able to use my Shadow Cloak to kind of dodge away, or does that not work for that? Is that
No, this wouldn't help you in that situation.
okay? Then I'll just roll for my athletics and dexterity.
Correct. So if there's
Okay.
something that can help you more, let me go ahead and check really quick. That is your character: athletics, firearms, melee. Okay, cool. So you do have 3 in melee. So you do have your
Mhm.
knife. So if you wanted to, you can go ahead and use your dexterity and melee to try to like stop him essentially from firing on you. So he's
Maybe to
gonna
like
try
knock the gun with my knife
exactly
and
to like
kinda
knock the gun or like what have you. Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably try and do that as soon as I see him like reaching for the gun to pull it out. I'll do that.
Okay.
I do that, so that's 2 and 3, so that's 5. Difficulty is still 5.
Difficulty is 3.
Okay. 3 successes.
Okay, good. The problem is though, it is Manny's roll, so victory would go to him. So if you like to, you can pop willpower to try to re-roll any of the ones you missed that aren't hunger die, or you can leave it be.
I just do willpower reroll.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
So you're gonna willpower re-roll.
Four successes.
Okay, so you're able to succeed. You got that last one. As you move a little bit quicker, you use your knife and you like stab it into his hand, and like it shoots aimlessly, up, which is good because he was going to use all of his, bullets on you essentially. And
It's not me, you guys.
and after this,
Damn it, Manny.
after this, it goes to you, Jimena. So what would you like to do?
I guess now, so he doesn't have the gun anymore in his hands.
Correct. Yeah, it's clattered onto the ground and it's also empty.
Okay. And what is the blood sorceress doing at the moment?
She's on one knee, trying to defend herself from Miguel, but is not doing a very good job.
Okay. Is she still like within distance of me? Like, am I able to quickly
100%.
get to her still?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess in this moment I run back over there to stab her again.
Sure. Okay.
Just
So
gonna stab her.
dexterity and melee, because of Valentine's roll previously, she's gonna get a penalty on her dice rolls, because she's getting
Okay.
confused and she can't quite remember.
That's clutch.
Okay. All right, so that's 3 and 2, so that's 5. 3 successes?
She got 5 successes. Do you want to re-roll any, or you could also do succeed at all costs, meaning that you get a consequence later, but you'll succeed in this if you wanted to.
Do I know what the consequence is?
Nope, not yet.
Oh. Can I still do a willpower reroll? Do
Go
I have
for it,
enough
yeah.
for that? Okay.
So you need to get 5.
Nope, it's still 3 successes.
Still 3? Okay. So she
Yeah.
recognizes that you're coming at her with a knife, and she launches herself forward to stab you essentially in the gut. So you're gonna take 1 aggravated. As she like lifts you up and looks at you. And then Valentine. And muted.
Damn it. Okay, so this person is just still clinging to life and
The last
her.
bit. Yeah. 1 good hit will, or 1 victory will get her down.
All right, so I'm gonna go full blade on this angel and try to just, behead this.
Okay. And like I said before, because of your forgetful mind, she's gonna get a penalty on her dice pool. So it's a little bit easier. She has 3 successes.
Okay, so what do I have to roll? Strength and athletics?
Strength or dexterity and melee if you're using a melee weapon.
Strength and melee. Okay, so that's 2. 2. Oh, and dice. Yeah, so that's 2 10s. 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay, good. So you're able to succeed, and you describe to me what you do to kill this like shade, essentially.
I feel like everybody's just doing their best and trying to kill this whatever creature is. So I just pull up my blade from my back, and I just do a little thing, and I hold it, and I just run full anime towards this thing, and you don't see it. You just see the black image go. It all goes to black, and you just feel like a slash, and you just see me on the back of this person, and the head just rolls down.
Perfect. As Quentin Tarantino, immense amount of blood squirts from this
of course.
creature. Yeah. So in this time, what happens is that you have succeeded in this endeavor. After taking down the shade, the blood prison begins to crack and begins to shatter all around you as things are getting worse, essentially. It's becoming unstable and is going to give away soon. However, Cynthia does gasp, and she kind of like spits up blood and calls you guys over. As you get over to her, she goes like everyone touch me, essentially touch my body, and I'll try to get you guys out of here. Just everyone stay intact, as like Sierra and Bruce and all of you take just like touch any aspect of her, as everything is collapsing and shattering down. You don't know what's going to happen if this blood prison, this mental prison, shatters while you're still in it, essentially. But you can only know that it's not going to be good. And sure enough, it's enough, as you see that as you're about to get sucked into this void of the shattered blood prison, you find yourself back into this sort of room on the floor, where all these other Tremere are starting to wake up and starting to realize what's happened, except for the 2 that like became malformed creatures. They're still just silent and quiet. But the rest are starting to wake up and be like, holy shit, what just happened? As you get up, you see Ernesto is one of the first ones and is going over to Cynthia, who is like still in her position, just doing like her ritual essentially. And as she's like in her Naruto hand signal, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so as she's still there doing her ritual, she's not coming out and she's stuck, essentially like in that thing. Whereas all the other ones in Ernesto's like trying to get her to wake up and be like, you got to come back. Like, you guys saved her, right? Like, that's the only way we all came back, right? As she's asking for an explanation.
I guess with my obsession, I'm already like, she's trapped in there and she's more than likely gonna die in there. She used all of her power to get us out, and she's unable to do so for herself.
And he reels in the situation as he kind of like, he takes in your words, but he's like, no, this can't be right. This absolutely can't be right. There's got to be a way to save her, right? As he like looks to all the other Tremere, and you guys were all trained to know what happens if anything goes wrong with these mental prisons or like, blood prisons, they your mind gets lost and your spirit soul just gets void. So now she's just an empty husk with nothing sort of going on inside of it. But after a few moments, does anyone want to say anything to comfort Ernesto?
Ernesto, we tried our best, and she gave up her life to save us all. The least we can do is to live our lives fully and as good as she wanted us to live it.
As you
Sorry, I would like to
Go for it.
also just add, even more than that, I'd add that the Chantry and the rest of the Camarilla are all in danger. There's an enemy who from the cult of Lilith who are after destroying and bringing us down here in Phoenix. We have to tell the prince.
Anyone else before we move on? Good. Miguel, kickflip? Yeah. Okay.
No, no kickflip.
Yeah, sympathy kickflip. As you go ahead and you say this to him, and he go for it.
I'm sorry. Really quick, because I'm like starting to have an issue because I know my obsession of like finding out, like I know she's probably gonna die. But then after hearing Ernesto, my
Oh no.
I am able to use like my occult to do like a check if there's any way that we can help or
Yeah, go ahead and do
something.
your intelligence or wits and then occult.
Okay. And the difficulty is still 3?
Difficulty would be 4.
Okay. I got 7 success.
Oh my god. All right. Yeah, you're good. So you pour into this and you reel in your memory, in your mind of like, the occult and different things that's happened in history and like all that kind of stuff. And you remember there are certain cases where people did come back from these sort of things. It was very hard, very difficult, very risky to get their soul back, but it was able. So if they choose to keep her, alive, quote unquote, then there is a possibility that they could get her back, and all that. So yeah, whether you want to give them information or just be like, oh, that's cool.
I go ahead and tell Ernesto the information that if they were able to preserve her body somehow safely, then maybe there's some text that I can give that information for them to help. And if they're unable to, that's not on me.
Yeah. So he nods as he looks to you guys and thanks you for like, I can't thank you enough for doing what you did. We could have all perished had it not been for your guys' actions. So we want to thank you for going into that whole mess. But you're right. The best thing we can do right now is tell the prince exactly what happened here. So go and tell them about everything that's going on. That way we can go ahead and start figuring out where the blood sorcerers are that did this to us, and we can get our vengeance at that point. So at this point, Bruce is there and Sierra's there and all that kind of stuff. So you guys immediately get into the elevator. You go down to the lobby, and as you get to the lobby, all ready and prepared to tell the prince like what happened. Not only that, but whatever wounds and all that kind of stuff you received in the blood prison, it's still there on you. Your body immediately experiences it when you come back. So as you get to this lobby, you're getting prepared and be like, okay, we got to tell the prince immediately what's going on and like how everything's going down. And as you get to this lobby, you see everyone scared and screaming for their lives as they are hiding behind everything and like getting onto the ground. As you can see that there are like entire SWAT teams and helicopters that are swarming the Elysium where the party is happening, the princes and every one of your companions, as they're just being like attacked essentially by some tactical force, be the special affairs division, you assume, as Bruce is there with you and he's like, you know what, you guys need to go back into the Chantry. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but you should probably lie low until this occurs. As you look over and you see the sun is beginning to rise up for the day, and the elevator doors close as you ascend back into the Chantry, and reel at the thought of like, you don't know who survived, the prince is even still there or what, but you at least have succeeded in your mission in honoring the prince's request. And yeah, so good job, guys.
Yay.
Wow.
Yay.
What an ending.
Wow.
What an ending.
Thank you, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's
The big
yeah,
knife
dude.
wound in my stomach just
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like is it mental damage or is like the scar there?
Oh, the scar's
Emotional
there.
damage.
Yeah, it's all
Oh,
there.
it's like the
Yeah.
scar. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So whatever you experience, you get that. And
Like 3 aggravated.
Oh my god.
is
Yeah.
like
one aggravated, one.
So
What's
the fun thing is that the last week's stream was the Elysium event. So was them doing the party and then having them, it being disturbed. And
I
so
was
your
watching
guys,
that one.
oh, were you good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking in there.
And you guys had the same, same timeline in the same, but totally different situation.
So were we investigating the Chantry while they're in like that
Yep, the
Elysium
Elysium.
club?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and you could have been there had it gone
So
smooth,
the
but,
ending,
like, yeah.
so the ending of the last week's stream, like how that was happening, and like I'm like, I don't want to give spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen that, but go and see it. It was I liked it. So
Good.
all that happened, like the ending and like the chaos of like them leaving and stuff like that. That takes place while we're like seeing all that happening.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. Okay.
So they
Yeah.
get Bad
So
Bunny.
it's all same
we
universe. It's like, oh shit. Yeah.
They get
Hey.
Bad Bunny. We get
They got
Angelic
Bad
Bunny.
Bunny. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. So yeah. So let me check really quick. I believe for Tiltify, we raised $560 out of our goal of $750. So that's amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Oh
you
my
so
gosh.
much.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
it was
everyone.
Thank you.
Such a wonderful cause. And what we're going to do right now is going to go ahead and go around the room to have everyone tell us where they can be found online and what they're up to next. And we're going to go ahead and start off with Randy.
Oh, hey everybody, I'm Randy Alvarenga. You can follow me on Twitter at RollerRaj, or Twitter and Hive. I'm trying to build that up, so come follow me, and that would be really awesome. Come see some of the cool stuff you can see me in our a Pathfinder 2e game on Wednesdays. I'm also in a D&D campaign over on Q Times on Fridays, actually, usually. So you can watch those VODs on YouTube as well. All of that information and more, all the really cool projects that I'm doing. I'm going to be in a Shadowrun book that I just finished doing some voiceover work for. So come follow me and find out what's going on.
Nice. And then Chula.
I'm Bewitched Chula on all socials. For streaming, I stream a lot of Dead by Daylight content. I'm wanting to get more into the TTRPG space. Probably in January, I might be trying out Coyote and Crow, along with some other members in the Four Directions team, an Indigenous team, and also going to be doing some more charity streams this month. I don't exactly have the dates or like what's happening through there. There's one for Cafe Cultivar, and then there's also for Four Directions, and then for myself as well. And yeah, just I'm kind kind of right now my content is kind of floating because of just being busy IRL and a lot of things happening. But I go live on Twitch every couple of days during the week and the weekend mainly. So follow me there and also on Twitter and Hive. Yeah.
Perfect. And then Robo.
It's me, RoboGoblin. You can find me at TTRPGifts on Twitch, on Twitter, and on Hive, and on TikTok. I think I don't know. But this was so fun. Thank you everybody so much for your donations, and this was amazing. Thank you to our producer Meg, who's super awesome, and that's me.
Perfect. Yeah, how was your guys' first VTM session? I wanted to like it was trash. I hated it.
I'm a fan. I love it.
I love it. I
I'm
love
like, yo,
it.
I want to play more.
Good. Okay, good.
I love
Oh,
it.
I'm so happy.
I wanna play more. I wanna keep going.
Right?
We gotta
I mean,
save them. We gotta
Right?
yeah, right. As long as our schedules meet up, I'm always down to do more. So yeah, and then going over to Lonzo.
Oh no, you go. I'll close it out.
Oh yeah. My name is D'Angelo Murillo. I've been your storyteller for this evening. You can find me on all social media at _D'Angelo. I'm a professional GM. I'm a writer, game designer, and so much more. Always trying to organize events to help our community in whatever way I can. And this was amazing. It was wonderful to play with you guys. And I'm glad you liked it because I was like, I hope they like it as they as we're ready to get today. Yeah.
And I am Lonzo Gonzo. Thank you everyone for tuning in, for your donations. Thank you for Starlight for giving me the opportunity for this, and this amazing cast for agreeing to do this for me. I adore each and every one of you so much. This is just a dream table and such a great time to be engaged with each and every one of you, and hope we get to do this again. So as D'Angelo said, we've raised $560 out of our $750 goal. So that's amazing. I'm so grateful and thankful for everyone. Be sure to check out Starlight on their Twitch, on their Twitter rather, because they're doing 12 days of streaming. So there's plenty more other people who are doing other amazing content and also raising money for this. So this 560 is going to go to their goal. And I think if I bring it up, so far they've raised, and 12 days of streaming just started 3 days ago, $24,710.54 have been raised so far out of a goal of $100,000. So way to go, everyone. Plenty more games to go. There's 9 more days left, so just make sure you tune in and support if you can. If not, just retweet and any one social and stuff like that. You'll find me here sometime soon, back on my channel doing some more stuff. You can find me next week over at Rolling These 20s. We're going to be finally wrapping up our season 5 and our series finale of Philly by Night. We had an abrupt end to our ending, so this is going to be part 2. It left off of a bit of a cliffhanger, so tune in next Saturday for that over at Rolling These 20s. You can also find me in a charity game next week. I am doing a D&D 5e game. It hasn't really been announced yet, but I'm going to say it. We're doing 12 days of Christmas, so Tuesday I'll be doing a D&D game, and then sometime in January, maybe February, you can find me on your podcast. Myself and a couple other BIPOC TTRPG players are going to be in a Star Wars Pathfinder to e-game. We are doing Unwavering Force. So
I like that.
we have some recordings under our belt, and if you thought Andor was amazing with all the BIPOC individuals, you're going to enjoy this.
Also, thank yous to Friday, who is not here.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yes.
Friday, who couldn't be here, but for giving us
Partying it up with
amazing
Bad Bunny.
giveaways. Partying with Bad Bunny. I mean,
and your character survives.
Yeah.
yeah, we had to go back. Friday's character is just jamming out over there. I think let's do a raid. So we're gonna go raid over to Let's see who is on.
Gonna need a session where we have Friday come in and Friday telling us about their night at like the Bad Bunny concert and like us
Yeah.
telling
And then it's
Friday
like
about
all
our night. Like,
tired,
oh, that's so
bloody.
nice.
All at
Like-
PTSD is like.
Let's see actually, because I want to see if anyone's live with Christmas or not Christmas, 12 days of streaming. I should go to my channel.
Meg, you're muted.
Oh my god. It's amazing.
So we're gonna raid over to Nightshade Grim, also a team lead over at Cafe Cultivar. Jill is doing
Hey.
some Fall Guys with some community members. And so let's just go over there, show some love. And thank you everyone again for your donations, for stopping by. This was such a great time. And again, thank you for the amazing cast here.
Thank you, Meg. Thank you.
Llamo a
Thank you
todos.
for
And
having
thank you to our
us.
producer, Meg, for making this possible. And that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.